Brrrra, brrrra, skrrra, pa 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 pa. Skr pa pa pa. Are we recording?
How are you, gentlemen? Emin,
I'm good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Fariovic,
Inan.
Ivanovsky.
you good?
I'm
Everyone's good. It's hot today, man.
Yeah, but in here it's like Antarctica. That's why I'm wearing my jacket. But yeah, it's been a fucking hot week.
It is going to be next
been a good
hot
summer.
5 days, but climate change, boys, it's coming.
Is a farce. It's fake.
It's coming. A lot of stuff happened, actually. Like, I don't know what to start on. Biden, we've got a new
Yeah,
leader
let's
of
go
the
Biden.
free world.
Biden.
Biden.
I'm calling it now. He'll start a war. I don't know what country the war will be started with, but I'm calling it now. They'll be in a big event. Unfortunately, maybe people will lose their lives. I don't know, but I've been told, and I've got a certain feeling. I'm not gonna go into details as to what I think I know because that'll be stupid. But this year, I think something big will happen. In my opinion, I don't know. We'll find out. You heard it here first. from
Based
me.
on what knowledge, my friend? Inside information. They're in my head, cuz. They're in there.
Spit it out, bro. Tell us.
No. I'm just gonna look like a wacko, man. Nah.
I
already look like
you've done
a
that.
wacko.
You've done that yourself. You've done that yourself, bro. No, it's I don't look
Something
regarding
will
him. I
happen.
think he's going to change. No, do you know what? I think he's sort of setting the platform to be the nice guy. That's
Nah.
the way that I'm looking at it. He's too. It just seems that what happens, so like they just want to put everyone in order to maybe unite the country for once over the last 4 years, and then if something was going to happen, maybe after that. Like
Well,
that's just my opinion.
Here's my wacko prediction. Pedophilia is going to become
Yeah.
legal because Biden's a fucking
I'm
pedo.
gonna say he's a pedo.
Look, a successful term for Biden is to stay alive for the term. Honestly, the guy's about to die.
Guys, you know what I've noticed? Him and Kamala Harris together, like when George W. Bush or Barack Obama got elected, cause I didn't know who the vice president was.
That's
Off the top of your head, who was it? Barack Obama's vice president.
Barack Obama's vice
Thank you very much.
president was Joe Biden.
Going back to now, Kamala Harris.
Was
It's
it
pretty
really
much.
Joe Biden?
Yeah, it was Joe Biden.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Barack Obama's VP was Joe Biden.
York one.
You Emin can search this while you
So
do.
Joe Biden's
Joe Biden was
half
vice
black.
president at one stage. Yeah.
No, so okay.
bad.
Well, what I'm insinuating is it's pretty much being set up for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like,
Yeah.
she's like pretty much on top. She's in the pictures. So you know how they have those cliche photos. It's like we're making America great now, and it's like them both smiling. It's them both, rather than it's just the one person, Joe Biden.
Do you think he's going to get Tony Abboted?
Nah.
Nah, he's gonna die. Cause
have-
like, bro, you don't know. Cause
If I had a feeling, okay, and I sort of believe that like a lot of the myth and conspiracy about it is that, which is Joe Biden will sort of set everything straight, be the good guy, and have that honorable way of leaving office, if that makes sense. And as we know, it goes on to the next. It goes on to the VP, which would be Kamala Harris, and eventually you would have your first ever woman president, also your first
Should've
ever
went to
black
Hillary.
woman president. Do you know what I mean? Like all in one hit. And then what would happen, or what should happen, or the whole world will go crazy. Sorry, America will go crazy. Is we didn't vote you in. Democrats will be like, yeah, you know, the whole woke crowd. Yeah, she's black and she's a woman. And then you'll have the right side, which is we didn't vote for you, so you need to call an election.
do you reckon Barack Obama would be like, yeah, you might be black, but I was the first black.
But never forget your spot. Yeah, I was the first. You know what? He's etched in history as the first ever black president. So everyone remembers that name, Barack Obama, straight away. So I don't
He's
think
also Muslim. His dad was Muslim, wasn't he? His dad was Muslim.
From what I've, I think that's where the whole argument.
Infiltrating from the inside.
That's where the whole argument came out, which is we're voting a Muslim into as a president. But yeah, look, Joe Biden is 46th president, and yes, Joe Biden was the VP of Barack Obama.
Yes, he was.
2009 to 2017. Yep,
it's correct.
And look, we're gonna have to wait and see. He first day in office, he did the whole sign off on pretty much everything Trump did. He just went reverse.
I know, it was like they halted construction of the wall. I didn't know the actual wall was gone ahead. Like
he told you he was gonna build a wall, bro.
Yeah, he said no more. I've stopped funding, stopped construction, finished, and there was another one. I don't know, but there was another one that I remember on the news. They said on the radio actually that he was gonna fire anyone that was disrespectful to people.
Oh yeah, no, he's
on the spot apparently.
He said from now on, he goes, in our offices, he goes, everyone's like on the same level. If anyone's disrespecting each other, regardless of where you are, he goes, I'm gonna fire on the spot.
What a cockhead!
So everyone's gonna be like, you fucking snitch on me, I'm gonna kill you afterwards. And he wants to get rid of the word alien, as in not the word alien. So for all those conspiracy theorists, it's when the Americans refer to as people that cross the border illegally as
people
aliens.
that are illegal individuals in the country. Yeah,
that's the one. He wants to get rid of that name. So it's a busy first day. The Americans
are trying to get as much done before he goes.
I've got 100 days.
I've got 4 days left, guys. Let me sniff kids' hair and stay alive for 4 days.
They in America they have that whole thing where it's your first 100 days pretty much determines on how your presidency went. That's why Trump did pretty much fuck all. Look, we're gonna have to wait and see. We'll see if every day we wake up and see if he's still alive. Unfortunately. Speaking of governments and control, Google v Australia. I don't know if you guys have read into this. Emin,
I don't know much about it, but I'm willing to learn in this segment along with the viewers.
Inan, would you like to take over on this part, or would you like me to take
Thank
over?
you very much.
Okay, go for gold.
I'm sure majority of people have heard pretty much Google threatened the Australian government.
To be fair,
AKA
I'm going to jump in on there for
Scott
a quick sec. You'd be surprised how many people actually don't know. Because this is... If you notice on Google, when you go on Google's homepage, search button, everything is all normal. On the very small writing, it's there. It was once or twice in the media. They didn't make a big deal about it. And then it died away for a bit.
Yeah.
And now it's suddenly coming back. But if you go on mainstream media now, none of that whole exists where it's like Google v me. It's all about Biden and Kardashian and this social media and Australian Open and Djokovic. It's like they're not actually talking about.
So when did this actually happen?
This happened quite a while
today,
ago.
I'm sure Scott Morrison came out today and he was. Okay, so
it's been brought back in
the backstory is the Australian government wants to bring in some kind of legislation to make Google pay media outlets money.
The media outlets are asking Google to pay.
Pretty much, because they're providing content. They're saying we're doing all this hard work, reporting on these issues and bringing these news articles to you, and you guys are making obviously the money out of it. So it's like we want our share, and Google's gone
get fucked.
Obviously, get fucked, and now Australian government, who's the guy that owns the media? Murdoch's gone. It's Morrison. I need you to step up, mate, and get going.
We didn't put you there for a reason.
And Google's come back and said, all right, if you guys are going to want to do this, we're going to get rid of Google from Australia. Which statistically, it's said to be that 95% of Google search or search engine use was used by Google, obviously.
In Australia, yeah.
They're the majority. The Prime Minister replied, whether it was today or yesterday, pretty much we don't even bother replying to threats. So it's pretty much a standoff at the moment. Whether Google's going to leave Australia or not, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
Me personally, and I know we discussed this a bit off air as well. We actually touched base on this a while ago, okay? But it was still, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't come to the point where it's like, okay, I'm going to start threatening to take away the biggest search engine, one of the biggest companies away from you. My opinion is, I think the tech companies are too powerful to even fuck around with at the moment. Because best example, let's look at the president that just left office, Donald Trump.
They did him dirty.
Yeah, within one day, you had Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp. I know they're all by.
Did we talk about this? Because I feel like they say he incited violence.
Correct. Hello?
I mean, it's a bit contradicting considering this is the American people who invade anywhere that's got a bit of grease or oil on the floor and they're ready to attack. You know,
it's different
Like,
when
it's a
you're
bit rich.
inciting violence overseas.
You know, it's a bit rich when their police force are shooting people and strangling people to the point of death, and they want to talk about inciting violence.
But then, even in that scenario, Trump never properly came out and condemned it, like to the point where, say, Barack Obama would or Bill Clinton would.
How can you blame him? It was his people. Like, of course, I'm losing my seat. I need to fight back and do something about it. I don't blame him.
That's another conspiracy that we will probably not get into today, the US election
I
itself.
don't want to get into that, but yeah.
But going back to what I was saying, which is, look what tech companies did all in one here. And I'm including Amazon in this because AWS, which is the Amazon Web Services, it's like it's pretty much the server for Amazon, where they even host other sites, social media accounts and stuff like that. They use AWS to keep their servers running. They came out and the only social media outlet that was left was Parler. That said, you know what, Trump, we're on your side. They go, yeah, you can open an account. That like hundreds of, I think they reached a cap where they couldn't actually create more accounts because of their servers and stuff like that. And then they were hosted on AWS, and AWS pulled their services off. They said, we're not going to host you if you're going to be part of this. So look, in one hit, look what happened. So Google and Facebook, okay, they control everything pretty much, okay?
Especially
Google
media.
Yeah, Google controls what you see. Google controls everything. Their algorithms, they can destroy governments.
Yeah,
in
well,
a heartbeat.
it was actually said they went through a trial. Google actually went through a trial.
They changed the one. I was just reading that.
Yeah, that's exactly the story I read, the ABC one. They actually trialed it, and it was like to the point where people actually could not find anything.
Yeah,
and it was a 1% change of the algorithm that buried news sites. Like,
that's the way Google works, because
it's a bit scary, bro.
We all know this, okay? And this comes down to personal use of a search engine itself. Yeah, when you go on Google, for example, okay, how many times do you actually go to the second page?
Not many.
Because
they're irrelevant.
Infinite.
Almost. They're irrelevant.
And that's what Google does. If it's not on the first page, the next 2 million pages or whatever it is, they're irrelevant.
It depends on how bad you want your question to be answered.
Okay.
And if those first page doesn't think, did you just ask how many times have I used the second page?
How about the third?
Very
or the
rarely.
fourth?
Very
But like,
rarely.
it gets buried.
But I have.
Here's an interesting thing, right? To be actually listed, for example, if we opened up an Offside Talk website, right? We have to have like an agreement, some sort of payment to Google to actually come up in search engines?
No, that's a boost that people know how to control. So people like with SEO experience, or people that know how to use Google's algorithm, can boost you up in their rankings.
Okay,
that's a different.
Any website in the whole wide world, if we made one like through one of those third-party website makers, like what is that, Wix and stuff, if you Googled like my name, would our website come up?
Your name?
Yeah.
No.
If on the website it contains my name as about us, Emin Küçük is, the speaker on Small Talk, for example.
What Google will do, so if I searched up your name, for example, it will bring me every single person who has your name up first. If your name is so broad, such as say John Smith, for example, your website probably won't come up unless the traffic to your website is
high.
Is a high traffic website.
Bad example. What if I write Emin Küçük Small Talk? Would our website come up?
It will probably come to a point where it would match all 4 words, and you'd probably maybe appear on the first 2 pages.
So it will come up. So you don't have to actually approach Google to be on Google searches.
You don't have to approach Google to be on Google, but when you're talking about high demand things, such as, let's say, we're going to hit this topic later on today anyway, but I'll give this the best example. You write in there Poirier versus McGregor.
Yeah.
Okay. The first website that's going to come up is what?
UFC.
UFC.
Website.
because they notice that. But then it's what's next. We know I personally believe
Probably
that if we
like
search this,
ESPN or
it'll be
something
ESPN
like that.
because they have a deal with the UFC.
Yep.
So what UFC will do is, okay, we're first, they're second. Okay, then it would be who's getting pushed up.
Yeah.
Okay, because we know there are hundreds and hundreds of sports outlets that are considered top tier as well. Who's going to be on that first page that's actually covering this? Are you going to see MMA Junkie, for example, which is a well-known MMA site? Do you know, are you going to see them up there? Or are you going to see something from a YouTube perspective? Because that's when, like, there's a lot of little factors here that comes into play here, because not only do you see the UFC, Google has its own incentives as well. They need to drag people to YouTube. Okay, so you'll start seeing YouTube ads, Conor McGregor trailer or Conor McGregor interview, for example, and the guy's a massive name, so it will come up. And just based on that search alone, you've got Google AdSense, which is what I'm connecting to what Inan was talking about as well. You got the ads that's going to come up. So even though that you and I have searched that, for example, even before we get to, say, Daily Telegraph, or Sydney Morning Herald, or news.com.au, Google's already making money. Google has already collected data, which they're selling. One, they've already collected the money from the AdSense revenue because people are paying to do ads on there. Then you got and then by clicking on Daily Telegraph, now this again I don't know, but is Daily Telegraph paying to boost their own websites on Google?
Yeah,
I don't know this.
Bro,
So
who's
that's
going
where
to
my
Daily
argument starts,
Telegraph?
is that like these news companies, they're getting free exposure from a service that they're not paying for. So as soon as they put up their article, bro, you put up a news article, like you said, whether they're boosting or whatever, you're going to get 9 News up there. You're going to get Daily Telegraph. You're going to get, Sydney Morning Herald, whatever it is, right? And then they're already providing you that service to be on that list. Straight away, people are able to like get directed to your website. Everyone who comes into your website are exposed to ads. You're making your money through ads, blah, blah. And then you want to make money from a free service that's getting you exposure. If I had to take a side on this, I'm completely on Google's side. I don't think you have a right to approach them and be like, man, you got to be paying us to, put our search engines onto our websites on your search engine.
They're
Doesn't
both
make sense.
assholes. Both parties are assholes.
Assholes.
But I'm not on Google's side because Google is big as it is. They don't need to be like they're pretty much showing the middle finger to the government, going, all right, fuck. Like I don't think they will leave Australia. No way. Like I think the country itself it's too big as a market.
You reckon 25.5 million people?
No, but regardless, the amount of technology that's used in Australia, we're not like this third world country that still uses industrial shit to make shit. Like we're very technologically advanced. If you think about it, in terms of IT and whatnot.
My NBN is shit.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No.
So, like, I think it's just too much power. Like, I don't agree with these media outlets. Like, find out. Like, everything changes. There's all sorts of innovation that come into place. You guys have to make up, or you guys are gonna die. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Start
Bro,
changing.
do you know what it's like? It's like, let's give an example. All right, Conor McGregor, because since we're going with him, he drives a BMW, right? And he goes to BMW. Man, you need to pay me because I'm driving your BMW. Don't fucking drive it then. Like,
BMW would approach McGregor.
And they would have said, of course.
No,
And
but
what
like-
color
But I
would
know
you
what
like?
he's trying to say.
no,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you're using it, it's like, dude, then don't use it.
The guy's
Like,
the ultimate marketing tool, man.
If you're putting money into Google to be up at the top of the list and you're expecting money and they're not giving it to you, bro, go use Bing. Go use something else. But you know
AskJeeves.com.
you know who's ultimately going to lose? It's going to be the news company because Google's the biggest platform on the earth.
Bro, like, to be honest,
It's your loss.
They own.
the media is gonna become what's that word? They're gonna go soon, anyways, because everyone that's got a phone now is media. If you think about it, I don't need no more guys to explain what's happening. I just need a guy to record the guy getting bashed at the shops, and that's all I need to know. I mean, I don't need the guy to report, oh, this guy stole his milk, and so this guy's gonna grab him and bash him.
Exactly.
You know
Look,
what I mean?
I don't watch television. I don't watch the news. I don't have time to sit down at 6 o'clock and watch some Channel 9 news, right? I don't buy the newspaper. That's outdated. So the media is really struggling to get exposure out here, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and
Good.
really,
Fuck
the
'em.
only exposure I have to media, whether it's 9 News or whatever it is me finding out through word of mouth or something on
Auburn
Facebook.
2144.
It's like, this happened, me Googling it and then being like, okay, I'll check out 9 News and see what they have to say.
No.
If there was no Google, dude, no one's going on your website anyway. Do you ever, like, I don't personally, write
hating
in
on Google right now.
9news.com and say, oh, what's happening on the news on Channel 9 News today? Dude, I don't care.
But that's you though. You got to keep
Because-
that in mind. Like for me, example,
But the majority of us too, cuz like, he's right.
Bro,
Everyone
you're
uses
different.
Google.
You are very...
Tell me, find me one guy that uses Bing.
No, but like, I'm not saying no one uses Bing.
You know,
put it in the comments below if you use Bing.
If anyone uses Bing, please.
But only because it becomes a freaking virus toolbar on your freaking on your Google Chrome. But Fatih is an exception because Fatih actually enjoys going on the news in the morning and reading everything up. Bro, I don't care unless something big has happened, right?
Yeah,
And if
that's
we're
true.
talking about a world where Facebook, Instagram, Auburn2144 on Snapchat is stealing all the
Lebo
attention
memes
from
as
media outlets, right? You're in a
they're
world
using
where
their material.
you're not selling newspaper anymore. Barely anyone is like watching television because everyone's on Netflix these days. Your only exposure is the internet. So why would you go up against a huge giant like Google who's bringing in most of your viewership, most of your ad revenue, and then be like, we want you guys to pay us?
Yeah, because their argument, okay, is this, and I'll get your views on this now as well. Google is making money off us without doing anything.
No, pretty much
that's
they're
what their
putting in the
argument
hard
is.
work to report on these issues and media, or well, obviously to find out whatever these issues are. Like obviously journalism.
What do you
know,
mean?
well, that's the whole point. I mean, there's media outlets need people. They employ people to find out stuff.
No. That's not what their argument. The argument is, so
We got bills.
we got bills to pay, bitch. Rent. It's by the time. Okay, I'll use Emin as an example. Okay, by the time Emin gets to Daily Telegraph, Google has already made money.
Yeah.
Daily Telegraph. I know that I don't use Daily Telegraph because you got to pay for it now, and you're a bunch of piece of shit.
Exactly.
To be honest.
The
But-
media is shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah.
But
Sorry.
what I'm trying to get to is by the time said person gets to said media source, their argument is Google has already made the money, whether the media source has, whether the user has clicked on the media source or not.
Yeah, I understand that.
But for them to even get to that, okay, you can take, no offense, but you can take away all the news, Australian news media outlets. People will still find their news one way or another.
That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I'm arguing is. All right, let's flip the coin here. All right, let's look on the other side. And Google says to them, all right, we're gonna pay you to have because we're making money off you, but 1 cent for everyone who's gotten to your website through a Google search, we're gonna charge you for it. Dude, the media's losing.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like
See,
the media is gaining more from Google than what. Like the Google's obviously gaining a lot from the media, but without Google, all these news outlets are nothing, in my opinion.
I agree with you. And another factor into this conversation also was Facebook. So Facebook, and see, the way that it's, again, this is such a deep topic because the way that it's characterized? Fuck, I'm having an English breakdown.
What is English?
What is English? Was YouTube. Okay, YouTube was a massive example here. Okay, which was on the sense of, is YouTube a news organization? Because Google does not, I believe if I read this correctly, Google does not classify YouTube as a news.
I don't think it is
media.
because YouTube doesn't make explicit videos themselves
It's
to
a
inform
platform.
people.
It's
It's
a
what
platform.
people
It's
post
just a
on there.
That's
platform.
right. So, which is, I think is where the also the argument is, which is, and again, this falls down to. It's such a stupid topic in my personal opinion because you look at Facebook. Okay, you're uploading your content on your page that you created, and complaining Facebook is making ad revenue based on what you put up. So I don't know how to tackle that.
Yeah, exactly. And bro, and going off YouTube, when I do watch 9 News or 7 News or blah blah, it's a snippet that's been put on YouTube. So you're using that to make money off it anyway.
Yeah. So I don't know. I really don't know because this is a really sensitive topic in a way because if Google pays Australia, for example, say Google folds for some odd reason they fold and they said, you know what, we're going to pay.
Wolves.
Who do you think is going to come crawling? Every other country on earth.
That's
Well, why
right.
am I paying them?
Yeah.
You got America, you got United Kingdom, you got all these first world countries that are going to come out and go, well, why the fuck am I paying you then if this country is doing this, not the same thing? But I think
And all of a sudden, we're gonna have Bing phones.
It's just, I think Australia and their news outlets and their government, they're playing in a game that they're never gonna
Dude,
win.
look, my view on the media outlets, bro. You go to Europe, right? Let's give Turkey for an example. They have like 100 stations,
Yeah.
right? The media in Australia is too controlling as it is. We have 4 stations, bro. What do we have? We have ABC, SBS, which are government-run stations anyway. You have 7, 9, and 10. You have 9, 1, 9, 2, 9, 3, which are all the same shit.
That includes Foxtel and Sky Sports and blah,
No.
blah.
I'm talking free-to-air.
Oh, free to air.
Free-to-air television. In Europe, free-to-air, you have 100 channels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Australia, the media is so... controlling that they have too much power. And in this, I feel like they're having a massive dummy spit because someone is shitting on them finally.
Well, to be honest, it's a change of guard. It
Yeah.
really is. Let's look at Kodak. Do you remember? We all remember what Kodak was.
They were massive,
They were
like
massive.
80s, 90s.
And they didn't keep up to date with their own technology. And what happened? Someone with a new technology came forth and killed them,
Yeah.
pretty much. And now I think they make something completely different now.
They just make film.
And now it's more like, okay, the newspaper's gone. Okay, people thought that would never go away. How are people else going to receive their news? Do you know what I mean? In this scenario, if Google goes, yeah, I can't see myself resulting to use Bing, I'll probably just use a VPN.
Probably.
I'll log into New Zealand and go, you know what? How's the Google out down there? It's impossible because there is so much that comes into play here. Not only are we talking about YouTube, not only are we talking about Google, you got Drive, you got Gmail, you got all these little incentives that come with Google.
Not only that, Google has actually agreements with like government organizations
Yeah.
like Department of Education,
Yeah.
where they're all using Google Drive and Google Docs and blah blah. So shitting on this deal with Google is gonna set us back big time, man.
Yeah. Look, to be fair, I reckon the scenario for this is that either the government will fold or the government will go, you know what, it is what it is, guys. You either have to find a new way to invent yourselves or, unfortunately,
Just become a thing of the past.
become a thing of the past. That's literally it, because Google's too powerful. Again, we literally just saw them control the voice of a president.
Yeah.
Literally, like they shut down all social media aspects to this person. That I personally, every day I'm hearing, oh, Donald Trump tweeted this, Donald Trump tweeted that. I didn't hear anything that he said.
Yeah.
I literally did not hear anything.
It goes the other way as well. I mean, there's been countries that have completely boycotted YouTube and Google
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like China doesn't have YouTube still. I think,
They're a communist country.
but like Turkey had YouTube cancelled out at one stage because of all the political stuff that was going around on there. Like it goes the other way around. But look, ultimately, people either find a way to work around getting rid of
'Cause
YouTube,
we'll
like I said, with a
adapt, bro.
VPN or whatever, or it just... They realize that you can't deal without. Dude, can you imagine not having Google Maps now in 2021?
Ways.
Yeah.
I
true.
want to know
But
where the
look,
cops are.
I have Waze, but it's
Different.
it is different. We some addresses we punch into Waze and it takes us somewhere else. So like, but it's using Waze is sort of like having like an iPhone or a Samsung and then going to like use a Sony Ericsson again. Like it's just not up there.
No, I agree. Look, Maps is my preferred option. I didn't even consider Maps when you said Maps. See what I mean? Like another aspect of it.
Google's massive. What, are we gonna start losing our Android phones now as well? And
Yeah,
then,
I'm
like,
ready to go back to using road maps.
Road Maps?
The books.
No, I don't want to turn and then go to
I
page
can do it.
240 and I'm in Queensland somewhere.
B7, yeah, it's right. All right, you got to take left on James
Bro,
Bruce.
the convenience of being able to swipe left and not have to look for a page that's somewhere else.
Hey,
Oh
that's
my
a luxury
gosh.
in life. In the end of the day, I'm ready to go back to working like a dog.
We might as well just
Reading
start
a
like scribing on rocks and stuff. Like,
Guys, we're not getting rid of electricity. It's just Google, man. Nah, look, I personally feel the government will fold, the media outlets will fold. Guys, you're messing with something that you're not ready to fight for. Think about it.
hey,
Look
Murdoch,
at
you're a piece
look
of
at
shit.
Facebook. Even Facebook, you're putting your article on there and people are commenting it. People don't even read your fucking article most of the time. They just read the headline and then the comment spree is on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're doing that much effort and yet people still don't give a shit.
Bro, think of it this way, right? You have free-to-air television, right? It's dying out so hard that they have free-to-air television ads on radio. So you're you're providing ads for something that's free for people. You're like, hey, it's free, come watch it. And they're like, nah, I'm watching Netflix. Honestly, man, I think TV's dead. Like, I haven't watched TV in the last few years. Like, I'm not talking like streaming services and paid TV. I'm talking free-to-air television. Like, there's nothing on there that intrigues me. And if I am watching it, I'm watching it through like their replay apps of like 9Now and stuff like that. I don't watch it live. You know what I mean? Like, live happening then and there, free to TV, in my opinion, is dead.
Yeah, I probably agree with you because I'm more on the lines of the apps itself and going, you know what, I'm going to add you in the background of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's usually what I've done. I know Inan enjoys maths and loves to watch that shit. So
No, I'm good.
Oh,
Thanks.
no, you don't.
But one thing I do admire is Scott Morrison came and said, "This is our country. We govern it how we do. We welcome anyone that wants to sit down with the table and respect what we want in our country. And if that's not the case, then that's fine. You know, you can
just
take
expect Scott Morrison to have his fucking tail between his legs in a couple of weeks. And
You reckon?
apologise to
Nah,
Google.
if he's already come out, I don't mind Morrison, to be honest. I mean, he hasn't really done much besides go on holidays when the country was burning. But
No, he just dealt with the whole coronavirus.
I don't blame you. Look, you got to have your break. Doesn't matter what's going on. You know, if your house is burning, then you still got to go to Hawaii. But
just don't think about it while you're there.
It's nice to know that the government's showing balls. You know, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, in the end of the day, does Google really leave? I doubt it too.
Yeah,
I reckon they're both talking shit. They're like dogs between that fence.
No.
Have you seen that?
If Google leaves, bro, the media loses.
Us Jeeves comes back. Or
You-
Bing.
you know-
Bro, like, come on, bro. I'm sure someone in Australia will be like, you know what? I can set up this. I can do this. Bang, you got
Yeah, to 25 million people.
Aussie Google. You know, like, I don't know. Like, I'm just speaking. Like, surely, just because Google fucks off doesn't mean the world's ending. Like, we can adapt to something else. Surely.
Did you not hear the things we named?
Because are you telling me another company can go, all right, we've got the template here. We just got to make the
Do
same
you know what's
shit.
going to happen if it happens in
We'll
Australia?
We'll
All
get
right?
our cars and start driving around and map the roads too.
We're going to get a search engine that's called Kango or something, right? And every time you need to call customer service, you're going to speak to some guy in India.
Because we need
and-
Google shouldn't be number one. We need another guy to compete with them. It's better, isn't it?
Bro, they killed off their kind. Yahoo's
Exactly.
gone.
Like, surely someone can step up and go, you know what? I can feel this demand.
Nah.
I don't know. I'm being a little optimistic.
TikTok's going to come in. TikTok's going to...
this, guys. TikTok roadmaps.
Google will be number one for a very long
Yeah,
time.
that's why I'm saying it's good to know that at least the government's showing a bit of balls.
Because
But
it's like a
2 weeks from
chihuahua
now-
barking
Yeah,
at my
yeah, I know.
staffy. That's what it is.
Realistically, it probably is going to be, you know, he's probably a rotted right now and going, "Urgh," and then 2 weeks from now, it's like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, but it's just refreshing. It's refreshing to see that they're not going, oh, yeah, look, we're going to consider what they're saying and we're going to talk to them. Instead of, no, he's going, we don't respond to threats. Like, it's all good. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll talk about it.
You know what makes me smile? Your optimism. It makes me smile.
I didn't know you were such a ScoMo copywriter.
No, I'm not a sky. Fuck off. I'm not a
Nah, look. I'll tell you now. There is no chance in hell. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I know. I'm being very,
I'm not
very
even gonna
optimistic.
go. You know what? Oh, you know he's trying his best. There is no chance in hell that Google will bend over for Australia. Don't worry about Scott Morrison, for Australia. And I'll tell you why. Because it's already happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Google paid. I think they made, from what I read,
Trillions.
$5 billion in Australia alone revenue. Paid $46 million in taxes
In Australia,
in Australia.
5 billion, 46 million.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
cool.
Apple paid zero. And Apple makes how much money?
A lot of money.
And they try to do this with Apple. Again, Apple's another example here of a conglomerate, fucking the richest company on earth. Okay. They come out, and when they say things, people listen. Think about it like this. Okay. I give you the best example here, and how this is going to go is pretty much platform. Europe last year, or just before coronavirus, came out and said we are sick and tired of too many phones having too many different chargers. They go, we're sick and tired of this. Dead set. The UE or the EU, sorry, they got together and they said that,
UE.
and they unanimously agreed to USB-C, which app iPhone doesn't use. Okay, so you know what iPhone did? They got rid of the charging point. They said, you want us to comply to you? We're not going to have it at all. Now what happened? That's the trend. Samsung will follow trend. Google will follow trend. Why? Because we're moving wireless.
Does Samsung still have a audio jack?
Samsung in the most recent ones, they got rid of them. Okay, so
Yeah.
my Note 20 doesn't have one.
Whoa.
Okay.
What
So
if?
when I say these conglomerates run everything, what they say goes. So when Apple comes out and says, well, you want people to use certain charging points, we're going to get rid of the charging point altogether.
Now, yeah, imagine we do get a search engine like Kangabanga or whatever it is, right?
Kanga-banga.
You know what's gonna happen? Google's gonna come up to him and be like, "Hey, man, we'll give you 100 mil for your company."
I'm rich, bitch.
Exactly. It's gonna be like, "Bro, give me the
Yeah.
money."
Yeah.
And then Kangabanga's owned by Google again.
Yeah, and then Google comes out, and then they buy Qantas, and then everyone's fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll give you another example. Okay, this is all about there is a tier here, and this is, if you want to jump on a conspiracy, I'll jump on with you
Let's
now.
go.
This is the new world order. Okay, there we go. The hat's on.
Let's go.
All right. If you want to jump on a tier of conspiracy, there is a certain number of companies who are who are in process of eliminating anyone that gets remotely close to them. Okay, we're talking about Facebook,
Yeah.
we're talking about Google, Amazon, and
McDonald's.
McDonald's is already done. Let's just take those three into comparison, okay? And Amazon being number one. Amazon recently bought, 11 aircrafts. Okay, why? Because they're sick and tired of paying FedEx and DHL for their deliveries.
Well,
Yeah, it's
the
good.
same thing's happening from a gaming perspective, is that Microsoft is now making this massive push
To buy
because look, Xbox has been in the shadow, in my opinion, of PlayStation for such a long time. So all these great game developers, Microsoft's like, we're just going to buy your studio.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen eventually is that they're just going to become Microsoft exclusives. You're finally leveling the ground.
Yeah.
Microsoft would be up there with those people who just buy out competitors.
100%. I totally agree with that. But
That
what
Bill
I'm-
Gates.
the tier level has already started. That's why the US government is so hell bent on trying to get Facebook to sell to sell Instagram and to sell WhatsApp. It's because, think about it, they control everything: your social media aspect, your photo aspect, and your communication aspect. And I don't know if you guys got the message or not, but WhatsApp came out and said you have to share your data with Facebook. It's rolling out, and it came up on my phone. It'll probably roll up. I think they have until the end of February, end of March. And it's going to pop up on your phones. There's no, I don't agree to it. It's
Just
this
letting
is
you
what's
know we're
happening,
doing.
and you have to actually click agree. There's no, you have a choice whether you send your data or
Look,
not.
in reality, you do. It's called uninstall the app.
That's right. So when you don't like, you can't bypass this screen. So what they do is it's there, or you press home screen.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't use WhatsApp anymore.
And that's why a lot of people are moving to that other one. What's it called?
Signal.
Signal. Yeah.
Yeah, Signal, which is what Elon Musk told people to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
What's going to happen? Eventually, something's going to happen on that app, or they're going to get bought out. Some things will happen, and the moment that, if anything, like,
Because what if he's just stubborn, like the owner of Signal or the group that owns Signal or the organization that uses Signal or operates Signal goes, no, we believe in this product and we believe in the right to not monopolize everything by being bought out.
Eventually, they become one of them.
Maybe
Bro,
like surely they'll be making money.
I'll tell you what will happen. Eventually, what will happen? Signal outage. 1 day, 2 days. The owner of Signal, pedophile cases come against you. What happened? Stocks plummet, because it happens so many times. It happens across the board, where you don't. This is a conspiracy thing, but in my personal opinion, you don't comply, you're pretty much either going away. I'm not saying deaf, but I'm saying company's going away, or you'll step down. Who was that? Oh, there was that
Bro,
one.
it's not hard to do. Look, even if you don't bring the pedophile and the massive
That was just an
criminal
example,
thing. Yeah, I know. But all you need is a little audit of any company
100%.
and you're getting fucked. There is no company in the world, I guarantee it, that runs 100% by the books, by everything. They're going to find something, some tax you didn't pay, some money you made on the side that blah, blah. You're going to get fucked for something.
100%. And that's it. It's game over for you from there. They're building a tier now again, and I'm getting to what I was saying with Amazon. Look at to the point where we think that. Well, look at what they're thinking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're thinking about all these little people in the middle. That little people to them, FedEx and DHL, which is conglomerate companies here that deliver. They're going, how do we eliminate these people? Okay, how do I come about to go? You know what? That money that I'm paying to them, how do I get that back? And then what happens? You start seeing Amazon aircrafts. Amazon starting to do this. And like the logic behind it is it's genius, to be honest.
Yeah, just
Passenger
eliminate the
aircraft that
middleman.
are delivering parcels.
Because Amazon can do that because they're so rich.
But he didn't start there. He started off with a bookstore.
And he
A
fucked
fucking
over
bookstore.
libraries.
Well, he worked for PayPal, but then he just started off with a
Yeah.
bookstore. Do you know what I mean? We don't think that far back where we go, oh, you know what? Amazon's doing this. They're delivering this. They bought Whole Foods and blah blah blah. They eliminated books.
Yeah.
Think about it. I'm not saying to the
No,
extent
but
where it's gone.
surely, but
But
like,
look at Kindle.
to the
Look at
defensive-
reading in general has now. Is it Dimex or Dimix or whatever their names?
Dimix,
Yeah,
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
How often do you see a bookstore when you go to a shopping
No,
center nowadays?
it's always some like, what's the
Dimix.
word? Like it's like a niche store. Like
yeah, like a self-grown where
Yeah.
it suits the area that it's
Inner
in.
West.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Inner
Like you go to
West.
Balmain or something like that. There's like this niche bookstore where they sell some first edition of something.
Yeah.
It's not like a conglomerate where it's like, you know what, we have like 2,000 chains and stuff like that. It's slowly dying away.
Yeah.
How often do you go to a library?
I was there the other day.
And who eliminated that? Google.
Internet, yeah,
The
or
Google.
Google Internet.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, these guys aren't thinking like you and I, where like the news are trying to attack Google. Google's already on. They're like, you are so little to us that you're just being a nuisance. You know that little chihuahua that just keeps barking at a fence and thinks it's something? That's Australia and the news
Yeah,
outlets at
pee
the
on
moment.
his face.
And Google is that tank that's looking at the fucking chihuahua like this.
All right, look, it's a little bit of a side thingy, but I know how massive Amazon is, and I don't deny it at all. I don't think it affects me. And I want to ask you guys this. How is Amazon related to me in my life when I don't use Amazon to shop, don't use Kindle, blah, blah?
Because it's a matter of time.
It's
A matter of
the-
time, brother.
see,
But like how? Like, I
The
want to
guy
know if
is
it already
literally
is.
taking over the world because he's buying his own aircrafts now going, I don't need to use middlemen or other providers of logistics by delivering my products. I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
I understand
You know
that,
what I
but
mean?
what I'm trying to say is, at the moment, is Amazon affecting me in a way that I don't know?
Amazon at the moment for you probably isn't affecting you as much.
Yeah.
If
And I refuse to buy off Amazon. I know that
Are they
there's
still buying? Are they still constructing their warehouse?
which one? They have what warehouse?
There was a
is
massive
already-
warehouse
done.
they were building.
done.
That's
Oh,
already
it's
done.
done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
already done.
Who?
Welcome to the 21st
No, I was gonna say.
century,
Well,
bro.
I guess once that's complete, next stage is world.
World domination.
Domination.
What are we gonna do today, Pinky? We're gonna take over the world.
But like
Pinky
you were saying something.
Yeah, like I know how massive it is, but for someone like me, the reason why I don't like shopping on Amazon is because, yes, there's the branded stuff that's cheaper than department stores and stuff like that, but a lot of their stuff is like really Chinese. Like I just see it as like eBay 5 years ago.
No, I there's a very big. I would have to
Whoa,
say ever since I've
you
started
just cut
using it.
Farty.
No. There's a very big
Farty
difference.
No,
It's
I'm not
between-
asking this to
No,
be
no,
an
no.
asshole. I want to know.
I used to believe that as well, which is more Amazon's trying to compete with eBay. And what I realized was Amazon isn't competing with eBay; it's already surpassed
It's
eBay.
competing with
Yeah.
itself.
It's literally.
But how is it different? That's
So
what I want to know.
so what eBay specializes in, and this is what I've started to notice in, eBay specializes in that niche Chinese stuff that you see. You know how there's little things where it's like $9.99 to update something in your kitchen. It's not branded or anything like that. Say like a shelf or something that's a hack in your kitchen or
Utensil,
your
just say
Yeah,
a spatula.
yeah, something like that.
Mhm.
You wouldn't buy a spatula off Amazon. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
What Amazon's trying to do is they're trying to start to compete with your JB Hi-Fi.
Harvey
Your
Norman.
Harvey Norman. Harvey Norman not yet here, but in America, the comparison, Harvey Norman will be dead already. But your Woolworths, your Coles, your Aldis, they're trying to compete with them now. So when it comes to grocery shopping, what they're trying to do now, okay, and they haven't completely done it here yet, is you're at work, okay? You're at work and it's very hard for you to actually get to Woolies, okay? We want to make sure what you need is at the front of your house when you get home. I want to save you time, and everything that you need is in my store, and I'm going to deliver it to your house for free based on this membership the Prime membership, and I'm going to save you time. That's my job, but you have to shop with me. That's what they want to do.
Okay.
And Amazon's achieving that. I find that they are achieving that massively, and especially for me, it's a massive time saver. Something that I don't need urgently, that's going to come to my door for free, I'm taking it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to cross the road to go to Woolies. I don't want to need to go to Marylands or anything like that.
But see, this is where I'm old school.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say I bought a headset off Amazon, right? And I have a problem with it. The right side dies. I'm old school, and I'm probably different from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I can't be fucked writing an email. I just rather walk into Kmart and be like, this is fucked, give me a new one.
And that's fair enough. Do you know what I mean? That's where it comes down to where the old school element does kick in, which is I get to go and do what I want like that.
Also at Kmart, I get to hold it in my hand, see how big it is, see what it looks like. And look, with groceries, I'm not saying that I'm not going to use Amazon. There's probably going to be a time in my life that it's going to become really, really convenient.
Come to the dark
but
side.
you know how they put the tomatoes in the netting at Woolies? I never buy them because I fucking like touching my tomatoes and picking them individually. I'm just that kind of person.
Well, Amazon will let you VR the
Don't worry,
tomato
they're
in your
listening
hand.
now.
Nah,
They're going, yeah, Emin, he likes to hold it. doesn't he?
Emin, they literally just went like this. Emin likes to hold tomatoes. Talk to our team and let's get some tomatoes.
Emin knows how to hold it. Get working.
So then what they're going to have is like on the side of the highway, you get to fuel them and they find the same hardness in their warehouse.
Send
that
them a
comes to your
trial
house.
pack. Emin, is that enough tomatoes to hold? All right, this is the type he wants.
But like, I'm not being a prick. It's just,
No.
you know, like it's the
Cuz we're
thing
just-
of me. Like
Because we're still
I
adapting
like
to this
tapping on my
ourselves.
watermelon before I pick it. And maybe Amazon's going to come out and be like, look,
I don't
we
think
guarantee every
is Amazon
fucking
doing
watermelon.
food?
Well, that's what he's
In
saying
America,
they're trying to
they
get
do.
into.
In America, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think about it like this. I know this happened. I think this happened like 4 years ago, something like that. Maybe someone can just confirm this. Amazon wanted to come into the grocery world in America, so they said, "Who's the number one in that?"
Whole Foods.
It was Whole Foods.
Whole
Foods
in America,
in America, it was
Yeah.
Whole Foods. So they said, "Okay, instead of creating everything, let's buy Whole Foods." So they bought Whole Foods.
Genius.
I think it's the biggest acquisition ever in history. I think it was like 40 or $50 billion or something like that.
2019.
Fucking Whole
2019, there you go, 2 years.
Foods. They
So-
fucked South Park.
So Amazon's that type where it's more sort of what you said, Emin, which is we want to venture into something, we'll just buy people out.
Yeah.
Sorry, that you were referring to with Google, sorry. So like Amazon had this idea, and again, this might be something that you might find like amazing for you, their future aspect, which is, why am I relying on Australia Post? Why am I relying on Curious Please, for example, or Fastway or Star Trek to deliver my products? Why am I relying on that? Why can't I get my own depots everywhere and make sure that these depots are going there? But then they start thinking and they're going, okay, well, how do I get people to these depots? So what their aim was, why don't I build petrol stations? Why isn't there an Amazon petrol station that is a depot? I'm dragging people because they need petrol. There is nothing on earth besides electric cars that has more continuous use on a weekly basis than petrol stations. Do you know what I mean? So they go, okay, now if I can get this guy to my petrol station, an Amazon petrol station, and have his parcel there as well, this guy's using me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And look at the way that connects. Oh, I don't need to go to BP because I can go to Amazon's petrol station. My parcel's already there. Everything's already done. And then what they'll do, they'll even go one step even further.
But sorry to cut you off.
There you
This is the sort of idea with click and collect as well, right?
Which is, yeah,
It's the same idea.
the same idea. But you have to go to, say, let's use Big W for an example, click and collect. You have to go to Big W to click and collect whether you have something to do there or not.
Yeah.
But you can always go.
But like Woolies does click and collect.
Woolies does clicking.
Yeah.
100%. I totally agree with you. Like Woolies, they even have those Australia Post normal locker rooms and like lockers and stuff like that. Parcel lockers and stuff like that. But Amazon's trying to think ahead of that, going, okay, I can eliminate parcel lockers as well. People are using me already. So they know they need petrol, so they go 2 birds, 1 stone. While you go to Woolies, you might not necessarily need to go to Woolies, but you have to go there because your parcel's there.
Do you ever have a day in your life where you don't need to go to Woolies? It's very rare for me.
Yeah, I don't go to Woolies every day. But then again, I shop on Amazon.
Bezos,
Bezos, if you want to send me free shit.
But like I can always think of
you
something
aren't
to
doing
get.
marriage right because my missus goes to the shops.
Your missus doesn't work, cuz. My missus works.
Well then, cuz you need to teach her right.
To be fair,
Stop working.
I'll probably go to Woolies if I fall into that old school mentality if I desperately need something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if I genuinely need something that I'm using on the day or I've just run out, I go, fuck, I need it, I go.
No, but like I'm not saying that like I go there every day, but I can think of one thing right now that if I was doing click and collect in Woolies, that I'll be like, oh, while I'm there, I'll pick this up too. It could be just a box
Because
of
I
these.
always go there with one thing that I need, and I
then you
always
walk
come
out
back
with
with
a
a
fucking trolley.
fucking bag.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm
Just
saying.
saying.
Like, there's always something that I could buy if I was doing a click and collect in Woolies. You know what I mean?
And this is where I'm going to trump Woolies.
Okay.
Woolies closes
At 11,
at 11.
I'm not awake after 11.
But you're not awake. But a night shift worker is. And a night shift worker goes at 3 a.m. and goes, on the way home, I'm collecting my parcel that my wife ordered.
Yeah.
And I'm getting petrol.
Yeah, I can see the convenience in
like
that.
that's what I mean. Like when we.
But then there's 24-hour Kmarts and stuff like that. Like I know I'm not saying this
I
to
feel like-
argue with you, but for the
I don't work for Amazon.
I know,
I feel like we hit a nerve with you, buddy.
No.
How dare you?
I'm not like arguing for the sake of arguing, but for most people who work a 9 to 5 shift, there's enough click and collects for you to get there on time.
100%. Totally agree.
You know, so like I'm not shitting on Amazon's idea,
No.
and I'm probably gonna get to a point, like I said, in my life where I'm gonna be using it. But for my situation, I don't need an Amazon to make a petrol station where I can do click and collects, and I don't need to do click and collect anyway. Just deliver it to my fucking house.
Yes, totally agree. But see, they're not thinking you.
Yeah.
That's the thing is they're thinking more along the lines of, okay, this 15 million people
I
that
was
are
just about to get that.
that are
bro.
getting
'Cause
to
you're
it.
one person out
Yeah.
of what 18 million.
But what
but-
they'll
but-
do,
alright.
but what they'll do is they'll
Because even if
they're
they get a
venturing
million
out. Do you know
people,
what I mean? Like think about it
Yeah.
like this. In America, they'd sign a deal with Chrysler, for example.
Yeah.
You go into Chrysler, test the car that you want to test. Okay, you can jump on Amazon and buy the car, and it's delivered to your door.
Yeah.
That's what they've agreed to.
Yeah,
Now,
fuck that. You miss out on the whole bow and shit when you're picking it up.
That's what I'm saying. But I want my bow on the car. I personally believe that like I wouldn't do that. Like for me, I would rather go there. I like to speak to the guy that's
test
there,
out the car.
That like
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
that's what I
See
mean.
what's under the car.
Like my argument is like I understand I'm a small thing, and we're talking about like making demand for it, blah blah blah, and like it's just I'm not shitting on Amazon. They're obviously massive, but it's like you're not really inventing something new here with your click and collect.
They're not reinventing anything new.
They're
with
just
click and
doing it
collect.
better than everyone else. Straight
Are
up.
they?
Yeah.
But I'm not using
yeah,
it.
they are, cuz.
Yeah, but you're not using it. But they have how many other
Cuz
people
I don't
are?
use it, but you got to give
You
them
don't use
respect.
it because that's what I'm
'Cause,
saying.
like, it's only a matter of time. I'm just not an internet shopper. I don't like receiving my item because one, I live in an apartment. It's hard for me to receive because in the end of the day, I've got to go pick it up from the fucking post office. So I'd rather just go pick it up from the shops where I can go get a coffee with my missus, get the kids to run around, you know.
100%.
So like for
So
me,
you use
it's
click and
different.
collect,
No, I don't because I hate going to post office. I'm at work when the post
but
office
you don't
is
have to go
open.
post. You can click like
Yeah.
your nearest.
Oh
Woolies
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yes, I do actually. My wife uses it a lot. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
See, I don't because the Woolies across the road from my place. I delivered 2 things there and they lost it on both occasions. So fuck those guys.
And see,
Seriously.
with the petrol station, it's good because it's not like if there's no demand for it, they're going to be losing money. They're still selling petrol. They're still selling, the
Yeah,
stuff
that's true.
inside. So it's smart. But at the same time, if I'm trying to pay for my fuel and these cunts are like cost cutting and putting one cunt there and he has to go to the back to pick up some cunt's parcel for 15 minutes, I'm going to be really fucking angry.
You think that they're going to allow human interaction in parcels, bro?
No, it's
Come
all automated, and
These
even their
guys-
automation
Yeah.
system is.
These
sucks.
guys are going to go, and I'm thinking completely outside the box. If you steal my idea, fuck you. Your license. No, they go, put your license plate into your profile. The moment we detect it, that machine there has your parcel ready.
It's like, bro, you're gonna pick up your parcel? No, I'm coming back for it tomorrow, cunt. I don't want it now.
And then the machine. So you just see some robot goes backwards.
Just some little pathfinder, like, okay, friend.
But like, this is what they think about, like drone deliveries to our house. Australia Post is still trying to figure out how many drivers they have in their fucking fleet, and these guys are going, how do I eliminate the driver? Do you know what I mean? Like there's that sign. I always have this argument in our work. There's that sign behind trucks. Without trucks, Australia stops. Was that one? Yeah, it doesn't say anything about drivers.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah. Eventually, look at Elon Musk. The guy's created a driverless 48-ton truck.
I think it'll still take 30 years at least.
No, bro. I'm going to argue with this. And this is not me bragging, right? Picked up a car for my missus 2 weeks ago. I don't need to drive. It drives on its own. It has steering assist, stays in the lane. I let go of the accelerator with cruise control. It's a Hyundai. It drives by itself. I shouldn't be saying this because the Hyundai starts beeping when you let go of the steering wheel for more than 10 seconds. Because on, what is that road? Where Chalora, Hume Highway, I let go of the steering wheel for over a minute, overturns, and a Hyundai drove by itself.
There you go.
It drives completely on its own. It brakes for me. It stops at lights. When I'm at the light, I don't even need to hold the brake pad. It just holds it itself. Like, we're not that far away.
So on his one, you're saying that we're 30 years away.
Well,
we're more like 5. Once 5G kicks off, it's going to do it. 5G. Dude, there's not going to be much difference between a car and a truck.
And you know what I reckon will happen in the future? Okay, they're going to start realizing, okay, I'll use his his full taut line full container load trucks, okay, as an example, the one that he's created. They start becoming mainstream. People are using them. You think the government's not going to create e-roads for these guys?
Of course they are.
Just going to go, these trucks are sticking in these roads and they're
that's why I said
doing this.
30 years, because look how fucking long it took to make the fucking tunnel. They were a year behind schedule.
That's just to make the transportation easier.
And regardless, are you telling me right off the bat, 10 years from now, it's going to go, no worries, smooth as a bill? Like, it's just going to go, yep, trucks are driving by themselves. Because surely there's going to be about 20, 30 accidents. These trucks taking people
let's
off
talk
the
about
road.
this. The dumbest thing to drive on a road is humans. A machine is not going to make an error. The machine breaks every time. Because I'm telling you that with the technology that a shitbox Hyundai has in its car, it's not using Google Maps.
So what happens if there's an outage in power? What do the machines run on?
This is where I'm getting to. I don't have Google Maps that's driving my car. Okay, if you want to talk about what happens when 5G drops out, my car works completely off cameras and sensors, right? You think in these trucks and cars, they're not going to implement some sort of thing where it uses cameras, uses the lane dividers to stay in their lanes to get to their thing? Of course they are. And with all the new technology that's going to come out, whether it's like these perfectly Google mapped maps of these lanes and stuff like that, dude, there's going to be less error, I guarantee you, than what we have right now.
Yeah.
It's actually funny you say that because I think this might be a bit old, but they were trialing these cars, like you mentioned before, the whole camera and sensors bullshit. And the guy
Uber doing it, right?
Oh, I can't remember. I think it was Chrysler. In America. And so the guy that was running the operation, he was like, I trust this system so well that I'm going to stand in front of it and ensure just to show you how much trust I have in this car. And what ended up happening is he got run over by the car. Yeah. First go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if they're still getting run over, I'm going to say 10, 20, 30 years.
Dude,
it's still going to
I don't think it's 30 years. I think 10 max. Okay. I personally think 10 max.
10 for what?
To be able to have car. No, I'm not saying that freight companies are completely automized. I'm saying cars that drive by themselves. Bro, my car does it now. It is a low-end brand of Hyundai. It's no Tesla. It's no Mercedes. It's no BMW. It's no McLaren. Dude, it's a Hyundai and it does it.
Well, think about it. That rumor that went around with Hyundai and Apple making a car. You think Apple? Look at the way Apple's reinvented the camera. Not the camera, the phone industry. I reckon give them.
And what have they done since? It's the same shit. Now that there's more megapixels in the phone. What else is new?
They've got folding screens. I don't find it so thing, but Where else do you go?
Now they're struggling to
Bro,
innovate.
No, because they don't need to. Because this thing has become your life.
Yeah.
What else do you add to it? The only thing it can do for me now is pee for me. Straight. That's the only thing it can do.
Would your
Pee
phone
and shit for me.
Yeah.
That's the only thing it can.
Phone pee for me.
What can it not do? What would you add to it that's in your life? If this is now gonna drive my car, dude, you got nothing else to add to it.
Holograms. I want holograms.
Yeah.
I want
I want my wife to come up in front of me and
Dude,
talk
Why
to
the
me.
fuck would you want that?
Do you know what's
Because
funny
I
about
said that much.
I said holograms, but they actually created the technology to do that. They just realized that they don't have the bandwidth to do it.
Okay, yeah.
So it's getting there. It'll come to that. Imagine that. You do this with your phone,
Star Wars style.
and a TV opens up in front of you.
What
I'm watching the football.
I'm not watching football.
Why? What are you watching then?
Nothing.
Well, like that, we're talking about like there's so much technology that's so pending to come out. Wireless charging. I'm talking about wireless charging where I'm walking around and my phone is charged.
But is it really wireless charging? I mean, you still have to touch something. So
No.
it's technically not
That's
wireless.
what I'm saying
No.
to you. That's the future where this is in my pocket. I walk into an area that is providing power,
Okay, yeah.
and I walk in. All you hear is
And frying my insides.
and literally
Bro,
killing me
look-
and giving me cancer. What's wrong with this?
As long as my phone's charged. But look, I think it was Telstra that came up with the ad of what 4G brought. I don't know if you guys saw it, but like before 4G, if you think about it, we weren't really watching YouTube on our phones. It was too slow. And like 4G came in, the amount of technological advancement that came along with it in that, how long has it been since 4G? 10 years? 10 years?
Probably 10 years.
10 years. But imagine what 5G is going to bring.
Cancer.
Coronavirus.
Man, I swear to God, it's like...
I was actually reading an article on that. Okay, so look, you guys know me. I'm very tech orientated, and
Yeah.
I don't personally believe that 5G has anything to do with coronavirus. I personally believe that 5G. Look, 5G does have what is it? Radio frequency electromagnetic fields.
It's
Yes,
frying
that's what
us.
it is. Okay, and it does. It's the highest
Is it
rate.
5,000 gigahertz or something?
It's more than that.
Or kilohertz?
What it does is it gives you a blast of fucking pretty much data straight at you. Okay, it's the quickest form of
Data transfer.
data transfer that we currently have publicly available. Okay, so when it comes down to a single use of this, the government or the people or the scientists or the health people, whoever you want it to, they actually don't know if it's good for you. That's the genuine truth.
That's
And
more
I'm
than
not-
enough proof for me to say that this is not good.
But you don't know. They said they don't know. So how can you say that it's not good?
Which is even more reason. If the professionals don't know, how the fuck are we going
No,
to
the
find out?
professionals are saying that because it's such a high rate, we need to do some tests.
Yeah, it's only something
Okay.
that can be figured out in
With
the long
time.
term, yeah.
In
But
the
we
long
don't know
term.
if 4G is killing us at the moment.
Correct, because even
Because I'm sure it is because...
Yeah, exactly. But who's against it? Let's turn 4G off and let's see how many people are happy. Dude, I'm happy to die with cancer as long as I can watch YouTube on my phone.
and that's where it comes down to: do you sacrifice technological advancement and human advancement because certain people have the percentage of getting sick? Hey, welcome to coronavirus, guys.
Coronavirus.
But that's what I'm trying. Like that's what I'm trying to say. As in, it comes to a
They
point
got me
where
off guard.
how do you choose this? Like, people to do these tests, it has to be funded.
Look.
No one's gonna fund it.
We've
Bro,
been
it's
spoken
time
about
too.
this
You're not-
before. We're going to die.
You're not going to shell 5G for 10 years to test it. You know what I mean? So, a massive shout out to the Giant Beast cast, right? It's one of the podcasts that I listen to about games, and they have one guy who works with CNET. So they've just had this massive CNET like
Wait, that reminds me of
online
Skynet.
online thing, right? And he was talking about how much technology has been built, right? And it's just waiting for 5G to kick off. Right,
Okay.
all this stuff has already been made. Like all the new phones coming out are 5G compatible. Just can't use them
Yeah.
because there's not really
Okay.
good coverage. But in America, right, we talk about our network being shit and blah blah. And, America's a massive country, but these guys are from New York, and their complaint is they're not using 5G at the moment because it has shit penetration. So when they call up to get like a 5G router, their phone companies are like, look, make sure you're using it near a window because it can't really go through walls at the moment. So like. It's once 5G does kick off, one is that all this new stuff's going to come out. Two, it's going to take them a time. We're probably going to be on 7G by the time they realize 5G was giving us cancer. You know what I mean? Like, It's going to take time for it. They're not going to just shelve it. There's all these companies that are waiting for it to come out.
Guys, I'm 30 years old. Another 30 and I'm done. I'm good. So 5G come around. Honestly, that's not my G. Like coronavirus doesn't even bother me. It just bothers me that I have to wear a mask everywhere. Like if I want to contract virus, let me contract it. Why is it any of your fucking problem?
Well, don't fucking give it to me, cunt.
Because it's a 98% recovery rate. We're all going to recover.
I don't want to get sick.
They're saying one of the main reasons for this to get this virus out is herd immunity. Obviously, getting everyone's adapting to the virus.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get it done already so we can fucking go to Turkey?
Okay. Again,
5G and Corona.
Sweden tried that, and Sweden came out and blatantly said we fucked up.
Yeah, and look what happened to Herman.
So Sweden did try that, and that was the. You know what's funny? I'm not. I have to say this every fucking time. Unfortunately, I don't have a fence to sit on. I'm right in the middle on this. Okay.
No, Corona is fake.
When Sweden came out and said that we're going to herd the immunity, everyone's going to get sick, and we're all going to recover and go from there. That was the main example that people that was anti-belief of everything came out. They used Sweden as the primary example. Now Sweden came out and said they fucked up. So where's your spot now?
What did they fuck up? Like what happened?
People got sick. They got deaths.
Pfizer told the government.
Even
Deaths? How much deaths?
So their king. So Sweden has a king. I found that out recently.
They married the Aussie girl.
What?
No.
She's from Tasmania.
He's Danish, isn't he?
Oh, is that Danish?
He's
Is that-
Danish.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, my
But
mistake.
Sweden has a king.
No. Sweden coronavirus figures.
We're getting to. But while he's looking at that, so the king himself said that the decision that the government made, or that the government that they made, was actually was a bad decision, and now they're trying to figure out how to go backwards from that. Now again, I don't know whether the stats are real. I don't know anything about that. But if they are the ones that made the decision and they're saying that they fucked up, it speaks for itself regarding the herd of immunity. That makes sense.
All the countries just went up to Sweden and were like, "Look, you're really
Okay,
fucking
so
up
to
our
put
plan."
this
You
in
were our test
comparison,
subject.
there was 543,100,000 cases.
100,000, so 5.3 million.
No. So it says 543k cases.
So 543,000.
What's their population?
100,000. I have no idea.
What's Sweden's population?
Probably 50 mil.
Anyways,
I'll
to
even
put
guess.
that into comparison, there was
I
only
don't know.
10,000 deaths.
Only.
Only.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, do I really need to repeat myself in the sense that we're gonna die one day? It's just a matter of time.
How many cases?
10,000.
Okay, and how many deaths?
Let's
They
do
said
some things.
You said
500,000, 10,000 deaths.
500,000, 10,000 deaths.
That's 1 in
So that's
50.
a 3% death rate.
2%.
2%
1 in
death
50.
rate. Yeah. That's a lot.
2% is more than reasonable.
Fuck. That's we're gonna have 2% of 8 billion
Like,
people.
I
Yeah,
might
that's
sound
fine, man.
stupid or crazy when I say this, but cuz we are all gonna die. Like,
Bro, that's like
but
saying...
it doesn't mean that I'm gonna go fucking run in front of traffic. I know where you're going.
but that's the same
Because
thing.
It's the same shit. It's like, bro, we can't avoid germs or bacteria, bro.
Germs.
Eventually, cuz like, you know what I mean?
That's why we wear masks.
Because, oh my God. So we're going to live the rest of our life going, we can't leave this country, or we can't go fucking overseas, or we got to stay locked down because the fucking virus is getting too big. You know what I mean?
Sign me up.
Fuck me dead, bro. Like, it's getting ridiculous.
I agree with you. I do agree with you.
Like,
from
you
that
can't keep
sense,
stopping the
but
fucking world because people are getting sick. Like, if we're going to go, we're going to go. Like, I'm not going to say people are going to go. If I got to go, I got to go. Like, there's not much choice. I can't sit here and go, you know, I've got a choice to live or die. I'm not going to fucking live in fucking hiding. You know what I
but
mean?
you're
Well,
not
you're
living in
really
hiding.
selfish, bro. You got 2 kids at home.
Exactly.
I'm going to die. It's fine.
Because I
have
am going to die. One of these days, I'm going to die. Like, I'm going to die, whether it's today or 70 years from now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but when
Like,
you
I'm
said
gonna pass.
natural death
It's
and
different.
a
go
disease
on.
death is completely different.
Because I went to the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital today, okay? And I had to go for a screening where they checked my fucking thing and they made me read a paper saying, do you live in this hotspot? So I couldn't
say
help
yes?
myself, and I said to the guy, I go, where are these COVID guys? Where are these transmission? Where do they put the guys that contract COVID-19? And he looked at me, like he was shocked. And I'm like, I go, where are they? I go, I'd like to go see these people.
Do they have those people at Prince
No, he
Albert?
goes, I don't know. He goes, to be honest, I've been working here for 4 years and I don't know. He goes, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, but
The fucking nurse didn't see anything.
Yeah, but Westmead Hospital doesn't have one either.
It was
not all hospitals have them, cuz.
They don't have a COVID ward.
Because there's
Bullshit.
certain hospitals that have...
hidden
If you go to
agenda.
Westmead, they're going to send you somewhere else.
Nah, like obviously, I was
And-
like, of course, I was just putting him on the spot. Like, you know, I was.
But do you think about like the question you asked as well? Again, I don't disagree with you. Again,
Like,
I'm
of
on
course,
the fence.
it is
But if
selfish
someone-
of me to say that. Yes, like I'm not going out there in public intentionally. I've actually thought about it. I'm going, bro. Let me just contract that to say, look, I've done it. That's it. I'm over and done. It's finished. You know,
Just
it
follow
was,
the hot
it was a
spots every
fucking
day.
flu.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Guys, I am in the hotspots. Maryland's RSL got pinned.
Yeah, I remember that. The guy that I watched streaming, okay, shout out to Rival X Factor, the guy that pretty much taught me half of Apex. He got coronavirus. Okay, he streams pretty much 24 hours a day now, and he has asthma. And he goes, for me, one thing that I can genuinely feel at the moment. He goes, my throat is genuinely burning. He goes,
What a wuss.
But
Of course it is. You're sick, dude. Like, what were you thinking? Oh, like I'm gonna ride it out like a normal flu. Of course, like, cause I'm not doubting the fact that COVID is dangerous. Of course it is. I'm not gonna say it's fake, even though I'd like to think there's a hidden agenda behind that.
Before.
I don't know where
Well, I
you
have
got.
said it before, but it might have been jokes, all fun and games. Regardless of whether COVID is real or not, I can't tell. I'm not an expert, just like you mentioned before.
I am an expert.
But I don't know. From what we've seen, we've had more than enough time to notice. You know, how long has it been? It's almost been a year. March it started.
Probably
or February.
It's
anniversary.
been
just-
over a
yeah.
year.
Yeah, it's been over a year.
It's been over a year.
Because, like if you look at statistics, it's people with ongoing health conditions copped it. If that's the case, if you've got a health condition, stay home, man.
Okay, but
Why are we copping it because you're likely to die faster than I am?
you 100% agree with you. They're not
Thank you
listening.
very much.
They're
That's
not
all I
listening.
wanted.
They're not listening. Then what do you do?
Revolt, anarchy. We go to Canberra, all of us,
That's
and
what,
take over.
that's where the problem has been, in my personal opinion. Okay, whether you believe coronavirus is fake or not, okay,
Yeah,
let's just say
yeah,
let's just agree that it's
Yeah.
real. Okay, people that have been in quarantine are escaping. Why? Because they want to go see their girlfriends or boyfriends. So these types of people that are doing this shit are the reason why you're staying at fucking home. That's why. They know for a fact people aren't going to listen. They know for a fact that people aren't going to wear masks and they're going to walk around saying, I have an exemption, where most of the people that probably don't have an exemption are going to say, and there's no way to prove that. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's the minority of the people where if you just listen to the New World Order, okay, we'll be all right. Now, look, that's what I'm trying to say. It's more along the lines of you say that it's okay that most of the people that get it's 2-3%. Okay, I don't know whether you're joking about that or not,
No,
but
no,
okay,
I'm full dead serious.
okay, 10% of 8 billion people is 800 million people.
Don't we have a population crisis going? Like, don't we need to eliminate?
I personally don't think we need to eliminate people, but if you want to eliminate
I didn't
people,
say.
let me
Okay,
know.
let me rephrase that. It'd be good if the population went down in size.
So what you're
I'm
not
sure
trying
I'm
to
not
say
the
is-
only one to think that.
Is
I'm not
Uber
saying-
Eats deliveries will come quicker because there's less people on Earth.
Look, a solution for global warming would be that there would be less people in the world. Yes or
Okay,
no?
yes.
Yes or no?
A solution for
No,
global
You should
warming.
go vegan.
A solution for
Oh, can I give
Okay,
you?
I'll give
Can
you
I
an-
give you an interesting
no.
fact I
You,
learned
no. You said a solution for global warming. It was what?
to reduce the
To
population?
reduce the population. Do you know that the CO2 emissions when everyone was in lockdown was almost at zero? So your solution is to stay inside your fucking house.
And not drive fucking cars. Cars would be the biggest thing. And the
Cars,
factories and
buses,
shit like that.
factories, everything. So the irony was, as much as I dislike him, Avi Yemeni, he was
Don't even.
no, he came out and he was telling during the Melbourne riots when they were campaigning against actually staying indoors,
Yeah.
when the police used pepper spray and shit on them, he was comparing that crowd to the protest that was doing the climate change during like a week or two before after that, and the police were guiding them nicely and everything. And then he went up to the cops and he said, he goes, how come you're not treating these people the same as the people that were campaigning against being locked down and against their free will? And then he went up to the people that was doing the climate change, and he's like, "What do you think the solution is?" And he goes, and then they're like, "Do you think we should be in lockdown?" He goes, and then they go, "No." He goes, "Well, CO2 emissions was like at its all-time low whilst we're in lockdown." So he goes, "So don't you think the solution was to be in lockdown?" To them, they didn't have an answer.
Because they're dumb cunts.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a person like that, again, which I'm not necessarily his number one fan, okay, is coming up to these people and saying that, and they don't have an answer, while there is so many different answers across the board, whether Inan's Thanos moment, where he was the planet, okay, but in my opinion, there is no solution for this, okay? We're talking about the Pfizer vaccines. There's people in Israel that have got these Pfizer vaccines and they're getting COVID after they got the vaccines. And everyone's going, what the fuck's the benefit of this? There's some people
It's not, because it doesn't work. Dude,
what?
it's a flu strain. We're going to cop the flu regardless of whether we fucking like it or not. Whether I stay at home or not. It only takes a little bit of fucking germs or bacteria to fucking get sick. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
So it's like all this fucking lockdown. Like, we're not going to eliminate COVID. You think COVID's going to go by next year?
No.
You know, you think, oh, that's it. We've eliminated it. I'm sure it will be because it's such a farce.
No.
That everyone's going to be like, yeah, that's it. Australia's eliminated. We haven't had a fucking transmission in 30 days. It's completely gone. You know what I mean?
It can't because it's a flu strain.
I don't know, bro.
Have you not watched I Am Legend? It happens in 2021. That's the next step.
The zombies are next, guys. Look, it's not going anywhere. This is something that we're going to live with for the rest of our lives. That's simple as this.
It's just going to be more controlled. Like bird flu or whatever doesn't go away. You just have outbreaks of it.
Bird flu, SARS, all that, they were minuscule. Bro, I wasn't even phased. Oh, China's got the bird flu. They're killing all the livestock because they want to fucking get rid of all the mad cow disease. Nothing. Bro,
SARS had a 3 or 4%.
Because I didn't bat my eye at SARS at all. SARS, I'd be like, how you going?
Because how can you bet your eye? You were what, 10?
Not only
No,
that,
bro. SARS was later than that.
It never came to Australia.
Because it never came to Australia too.
We had one or
Who was
two
copping
cases
SARS?
here, didn't we?
Yeah,
We had
didn't
one
really-
or two.
Because even Ebola, no one was worried about Ebola. They were making jokes of it. I remember they were making memes about Akon in Africa having a concert in a bubble, which is smart of him. Good on him.
He's providing electricity. There's 500 million people there.
I've never worried about AIDS. Should I?
Like there's
Look-
no scenario in which this is fixed like that. Now again, do I think lockdowns are the way to go? No, because there's people out there that probably do have it that aren't tested and that it probably won't affect them. I agree with you. Or it's probably just a tickle on their throat. Some people have come out and said, "Look, I've had it. Like I feel like I've had it, but I didn't go for anything."
Because I'm sure at one stage, about a month ago, I was sick because my kids started going to freaking childcare.
Have you been tested? Just out of curiosity.
No, I haven't been tested.
Okay.
I refuse to get tested.
Okay,
I'm
but-
living here. Like, obviously, I take the necessary precautions. Like, for instance, when your son was born, I didn't come over that 1 week because I was sick. Oh, well, I recovered. I was at 80%. But I said, you know what? I'll choose not to come just in case.
You know, question for you. Normal flu, right? Not COVID. When you're sick, do you take the day off
No.
to not transmit it?
I can't remember the last... Because I used to drive... When I was contracted for my truck run... Bro, I was pumping Nurophens and Panadols just to keep going. As long as it
No,
covered
I'm
the
not saying
symptoms.
I'm not saying you're a weak cunt for staying at home. I'm saying, but
not.
do you try and stay home to try and contain it so that your workmates don't get sick and then their kids don't get sick and then their family friends
Well, it
don't
was
get
never
sick?
an issue because obviously I was a truck driver, so I was in the car by myself. I mean, obviously I wasn't going, hey, shake my hand, you know, mate, how you going? Bro, I'm sick. Don't shake my hand. Leave me alone. Obviously, like I said, I take the necessary precautions not to keep the virus going.
And you were delivering items
Yes.
that you were touching?
So I was coughing in my hands and touching the tires and rolling them out my truck.
See, there you go. So every car in Australia is infected by Inan.
We need a recall.
Like there's no scenario for this where this is fixed.
Well,
Okay.
the guy that gave me the flu, how come he wasn't at home? I got sick regardless.
Yeah, he should have
like,
been.
Because like with that
but the
point, no one goes out of their way to go, I'm going to go outside just to get people sick. You know what I mean?
No,
No,
but
some
like
people
that's
go
why we
outside
have.
and they don't give
But
a
that's
fuck.
why we have sick days as part of our paid.
Not as a
like,
contractor,
rights.
mate.
That's
You
your
don't get
fault.
no sick days,
Get
brother.
an office
That's
job.
why I kept going.
Like let's go back to the topics. Okay. There is no solution for this.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Whether unfortunately, okay, this is what it comes down to. You're an individual of a society that you don't have to stay here. I'm not saying get out of the country or anything like that. But what I'm trying to say
I've thought about it many times.
no, what I'm trying to say here, whilst
nothing left for
resident
me
of
here.
Australia and New South
Nothing
Wales,
left.
you report to the New South Wales government and the federal government of Australia. That's it, done and dusted.
Where do you have stuff?
If there's a problem, they're gonna say, you don't like it. What's that term? You don't like it? Get out.
Man, love it or leave it.
Love it or leave it. And that's what it. That's it. If Gladys comes out or ScoMo, you know your mate ScoMo, if he comes out tomorrow and says, you know what, from now on, whoever doesn't wear a mask, exemption or not, you're going to jail. I'm just giving an example. You're going to revolt.
I'm sure I can find
You'll probably find a million people.
1,000 people that
a
will
million
agree with
people.
me.
You probably
Let's
find
go.
a million.
Let's go. Yeah, they want to put us in jail.
Okay. And then they shoot you on the spot. I'm going to be
Good.
like,
I
Like,
died a
jail's
gl-
full,
I
guys,
died a
shoot 'em.
glorious death.
then you know what I'll say? I'm like, Inan's plan came
I'll tell my
came
son,
alive
you're the man of
because
the house.
now
Look
we
after
have
your
more
mother,
food in
look
the
after your
country
brother. That's
because
it.
everyone's dead.
Does he wipe by himself yet?
He's almost there.
He's gonna look after his mother well.
All right, let's move on to something
Yeah,
else.
no, that's
man.
enough
Come
of
on,
that,
we're
bro.
doing
Something
it.
positive.
Let's go sports.
No, yeah, let's go. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, the Diamond versus the Notorious.
Ufk. For the Ufk on the weekend.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon?
Poirier's
Inan?
going to lose, bro.
You reckon
McGregor's
Poirier's gonna
too
lose?
good. I don't know. I hope he doesn't. I'm a big McGregor hater. I've never liked the bloke.
I love McGregor,
I
to
don't
be
like
honest.
McGregor.
Except
But
when
you know
he's
what's
versing
funny? He's been humbled. That chicken, he's been humbled ever since Cerrone. You haven't heard
No,
of
I
it.
have a co-
Doesn't talk any more trash. Doesn't talk shit anymore. Still gets stressed.
He's
Still
been
acts like a
bad.
douchebag.
He's being a dad. He's having
He
his
was
dad
because he
moment.
was a dad with Khabib, and you saw him being the racist. What else was he?
No, but okay, I'll give you a question actually before we get to our analysis of the fight. Do you think that if Conor fought Khabib now, that he would refer back to that being that prick that he was in the first press conference that they had?
No,
I personally don't think so. I don't
He'll
think
be
so.
I
humbled.
think so.
But how are you gonna act up like that when you got choked out, and not only that, you got bashed by the whole other boys?
Because Dana and the fucking UFC that's what they want.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, of course.
Because it's part of the UFC
But
culture. If you
Khabib
don't
never
talk
did
shit, you
anything.
don't
Cause
make
the
money.
guy was laughing. You know, I watched the clip of how they do the. I think they meet together, and then he screams at his manager Ali Abdulaziz. He goes, "Yeah, I know about you. You Muslim rat. You terrorist. Blah blah blah." And then you just see Khabib just laughing. He's looking at him like. This would be amongst us friends. Like, if someone was telling me off, like, for instance, say you were fighting with someone and then they started talking to me, you'd look at me and you'd start laughing. Or I would anyways. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, what did you do to him, you know? And, like, you could see that he was like, yeah, all right, bro, this is just another guy I'm going to bash. And it was. Bro, he demolished him.
That comes on to expertise and just the type of person Khabib is, man.
I've got a question for you both. Obviously, I don't follow UFC. Is after the downfall that McGregor's had, is there an opportunity, or is realistically,
Yes.
is there a way that he can come up on top again, or is he just a has-been now?
Well, we'll find out. Oh, look, he says, look, you know what? He must be that dedicated that he's promised 60 seconds knockout. True?
He has said that, yes.
60 seconds. 60 seconds, no way. But he must be, the confidence must be through the roof to say that.
My question for you, what do you mean by on top?
Like, to be
Champion
the
again?
champion again.
All right. So what it comes down to, he's literally in the division that is the most cluster. Like, there is so many gunfighters in this division at the moment. Okay, let's say Khabib retires. Okay, Khabib's done and dusted, finished over in the titles for thing. Who he's fighting at the moment, he's knocked out at 145. Okay, they're fighting at 155, which I think McGregor is. He looks like an animal in this division, like literally an animal in this division.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he'll beat Dustin. Okay, then you got another fight, which is the co-main event, which is Michael Chandler and Dan Hooker.
Dan Hooker, yeah.
Okay, which is another
Go
very
the
good
Kiwis.
fight. Okay, do I believe any of these two have a chance at
Nah.
fighting McGregor
Nah.
and beating him? No, I don't think so.
Unless
either.
they put on a good show. Maybe Michael Chandler.
No, as in like if McGregor actually fought these three people one after another, I don't think that McGregor would lose.
I reckon Chandler will bash him.
Chandler, no.
Yeah, bro. Take
Well,
him down,
you know
bash
what?
him.
We're gonna have to find out because this guy. Remember that massive hype of Ben Askren is going to come in as
Yeah,
now
yeah,
wrestle
yeah, I
the
know.
division and stuff like that. The same thing went with
Yeah.
Michael Chandler. Okay, I think in my opinion, Tony Ferguson's sort of on his way down. Okay.
Yeah, cause sort of he is, bro.
Yeah.
He's done.
He got absolutely annihilated by Charles Oliveira. Then people came out and said, well, you know, if Khabib wants someone special, he should fight Charles Oliveira. If we look at Charles Oliveira's actual track record, he's lost to Dan Hooker and he's lost to Anthony Pettis. Okay. Yes, it was quite a while ago. And to be fair, his performance against Tony Ferguson was immense. Like, it was absolutely animal. Okay. So if there's really anyone that's actually going to fight Khabib, it'll be Charles Oliveira. Unless you go for the money, which is Khabib Conor.
You know, Dana White and Khabib had a meeting.
I saw that.
Pretty much what Khabib or Dana White was saying was he's going to watch these 2 fights and then he'll make his decision, which is a boss move, bro. Hectic. It's like, nah, brother, I'm fine where I'm at. You play out your little shit cards and let your little shit fighters fight, and I'll see if they're good enough for me, which is perfect. It's such a boss move. Like, I'm sure McGregor is burning, cuz, burning.
So my question now, I'll ask you, okay? He knocks Poirier out in, say, 30 seconds.
I don't think he's going to knock him out.
No, I'm saying he knocks him out in 30 seconds. Does Khabib come and go, well, he's worth it? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's such a hard thing.
It'd be... Like, I'm
'Cause
sure he'll be saying, oh, another few milli, you know, I can set up my own government in Pakistan.
To be, look, again, all right, I will go to Poirier McGregor first before we get to that. In my personal opinion, I think McGregor's got this.
I do too, yeah.
I don't think, because if we actually look at it, okay, this is the way it's going to work is they're going to try to compare it to Khabib Poirier. Okay,
Yeah.
when did that finish? Round 2? Round 2 by rear naked choke. Yeah, it was round 2. Okay. If Conor goes past round 2, Khabib's going to go, eat a dick. Pretty much. He's going to say, you're not worth it. I choked out you and I choked out him and you couldn't even take care of me in 2 rounds. But he comes out and hits him.
Yeah, I completely agree.
He knocks him out in 1 round. Let's say 2 minutes, for example.
There's some hype.
And Khabib says, I'm still not impressed. Does he look like he's running away?
No, brother, no, because he's already beat him. Why is he running away from someone he's already bashed?
That's not...
Because not only that, he bashed his team, cuz. Like, bro, shut your mouth and take your loss. Like, he's already coming out and trying to... what's his thing?
He's trying to get into your skin.
Yeah,
again.
he's trying to... Bro, you can tell he's burning. Because before the fight, like, you think you talk about the opponent he's going to face. Nah, it's all been about Khabib. Oh, Khabib's running away from me. You know, he didn't get unified. He didn't have the belt put around his neck. Like, what a fucking sore loser. Yeah. What a sore loser.
I'll agree with that one.
Salty, bro. And the McGregor fans. So salty, cuz. Let it go. You lost. This goes out to everyone. This goes out to JJ. Main McGregor fan, bro. Ready to get on his knees.
What if McGregor gets dropped? Is he done?
Cuz, he's done. Finished. Cuz, there's no recovering from this.
The funny thing is, okay, and a
Good riddance.
lot of people go, like, they actually, like, when you look at McGregor, for example, okay, when we look at the UFC, all right, he's only fought twice at 155. He's 1 win, 1 loss.
Yeah.
He beat Eddie Alvarez for the double title,
which was,
and then he lost to
I
Khabib.
could have beat Eddie Alvarez that night.
You could probably beat no one.
I could have beat Eddie Alvarez. Straight out.
But look, let's compare it. But at 155, he's only fought twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what is it? Last 5 fights, he's 3-2. Okay, especially you can argue 2 and 3 because with Nate Diaz too, you can actually, if you watch that fight, you can actually probably say it's either a draw or even Nate Diaz won that fight. Like it was that close, man.
Was it?
Yeah, in my opinion, that was
bro.
that.
Bro, he played. But the shit thing is, bro, he had a good game plan. Because what did he do? He jabbed, ran away. Jabbed, ran away. He just scored points. It wasn't a fight.
Wait, which one was this?
Are you talking about Nate Diaz's second fight?
The second fight, who jabbed and ran away?
McGregor.
That's what I'm saying. Like the first 2 rounds, he was like, you know what? Dropped him 3 times. I think it was in the first round, but Diaz, bro,
Diaz is a flop in itself.
He drops like when
I
you
can't
breathe
believe
on
I
him.
actually used to like those guys.
But
wankers.
But he knows for a fact that he go, you know what, I'll get dropped, but if he can't finish me, round 3 onwards, he's stuffed. And that's exactly what happened. Round 3 onwards, to end of 2, beginning of 3, he was like, Diaz is coming back. And that's when you can actually go, if Poirier can get McGregor to say mid-round 2, then you can start to go, I don't think he's got a 5-round war in him as much as he comes out and says,
McGregor?
Yeah, I don't think he does.
I don't either. I agree. Because that's why I think he's focused on knocking me out so
Yeah.
hard. That's why he's come out 60 seconds.
Especially if you come out and you're swinging hard for
Yeah,
2 rounds, you're gonna be.
So I think there's a
Gone the
massive
last
gamble
3.
because McGregor needs this. He needs. If he loses, he's done. Finished. What's he gonna hype on? No one. He's just gonna be a has-been. Oh yeah, he beat a washed-up Cerrone that should retire. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Who else did he fight before that?
He lost to Khabib.
He lost to Khabib.
Yeah.
So Cerrone's the only fight that he's had.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's only fought at 155 twice. Even the Cerrone fight was at
Because
170.
the only thing he's got for him is his mouth. He just knows to hype it up.
Sucks dick.
You know what I mean? Like, my prediction, McGregor will win. But there's like that small 10% in my mind going, yeah, like you mentioned before, perfect. I think if it goes past the second round, I think obviously, McGregor's never been one to be conditioned or had a
And
good...
Poirier is conditioned.
Yeah,
Like,
Poirier's ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know, like surely he's fired up. Poirier doesn't even look fired. He just looks like he showed up. Yeah, I've got another fight going. He doesn't have the attitude. Doesn't have that mongrel in him. Bro.
But do you expect him to stay back for 2 rounds then? Just
Maybe,
let
yeah.
McGregor just swing out his energy?
see, that's the problem now because, again, they're fighting at 155. Okay, this is
Yeah,
like,
they
that's what I
both
said,
fought at 145 too.
This is premium McGregor strength here. Okay, this is
Yeah.
the most strength that you're going to get. The speed and accuracy of this is going to be almost perfect from him. If he got dropped at 145, but we also got to keep in mind Poirier's been through wars.
Yeah.
Gaethje, fucking Dan Hooker,
Yeah.
and he beat both of them. Do you know what I mean? Like he went that 5 rounds. He went 5 rounds of Dan Hooker because they went to the decision, I think.
Yep.
But Gaethje knocked Gaethje out. Do you know what I mean? Like think about it like that. And Khabib
Yeah, his boxing was crisp.
what's his name? Khabib came out and said that I haven't been punched or kicked harder than when I versed Gaethje.
Yeah.
So think about it like and his verse. I don't know if that's a dig at McGregor or not.
Yeah, it was full of sick cunt.
Like there's so many little factors to I thought that McGregor would probably do what he would done originally. That's what I thought. He'd probably come back. I don't know if his body can take it or not, but go down to 145, get that title back. Go to 155, get the title back.
Guys, can I make an
Announcement?
analysis? Because if you go and look back from the start of McGregor, when maybe from Dennis Silva,
Yeah.
what did he have most going for him? What was his strategy? Talk as much shit as you can about these guys, and literally win half the battle mentally. Because think about it, Silva, he just gave it to him to the point where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick you in the gut," and he fucked him. Chad Mendes, same thing. Even though Chad Mendes was 2 weeks' notice,
Yeah.
I think if you had
And
a
he
full
cut him.
camp, if you had a full camp, he would different story. But then again, he is a smaller. Look, the size difference between those two completely different.
See but you got to keep in mind what McGregor had at 145
Was power.
was power
Yeah.
and speed. He was so quick. Like if you actually go and watch his 145,
Yeah, I know.
he can't do that type of kicks that he was like
Yeah,
that quick like that at 155.
Yeah.
So yeah, he went for that, and then he knocked. He
knocked Aldo out because you saw Aldo was finished before that fight started. They knew. Like, I'll give McGregor one thing is he does research. He studies. I'll give him that. He said he obviously had the assumption that Aldo was that angry at him that he was just going to come in and try to knock his head off. And he did. You see the right hook trying to go in, set up, and bang. He cops it and he's out.
But you know what's actually mad about that knockout itself is that there's actually video footage of him train.
Yeah, exactly.
In his locker room before that fight, practicing that exact
because
movement.
I'm sure they did the research and they studied the former fights of Aldo's.
Yeah.
But I'm like, because he's an intelligent fighter. His IQ is there. In terms of being a great fighter physically, I don't think so. I don't know. I've never seen anything special out of McGregor. What's he different? What's he better than Oh fuck! How do I craze this question?
What's he got that someone doesn't?
What's so special about his what's his special tool besides his left?
That's his special tool.
And mind you, all
What's
those
Khabib's
guys that he
special
fought,
tool?
like all
His
the guys he
wrestling.
fought was 145. Once he starts stepping up, because Eddie Alvarez was beaten before he stepped into that ring. I'll always say that, and I'm sure 80% of people can agree with me. The other 20% cocksuckers are just McGregor dick riders, bro. Just can't accept it. And then who else did he fight after Alvarez? Mayweather. Yeah, he came up top form, got fucked. Got humiliated, and then you go, oh, but I won rounds. Oh, fuck, good on you, bro. But you lost the fucking battle.
We got to keep in mind, it is probably the greatest boxer, if not one of the greatest boxers of all time,
Tyson
that
Fury
he lost to on his debut boxing fight. It's like me coming up and going, you know what, I've dominated MMA world.
He was paid millions of dollars.
And I get that, but it would be like me on dominating the MMA world and then saying, oh, well, I accidentally lost to Mike Tyson.
Oh, what's the difference? I can't kick and I can't take down. I just punch.
Hey.
Which is what he was doing. It's not like he was taking people down.
I understand that, but you can't really count his loss on his debut against Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, so after that, what happened? Nate Diaz, yeah?
No, Nate Diaz was before that.
With that? Okay.
He went Khabib.
Yeah, anyways.
Look,
you know what I mean.
Regarding a result, I think I've got McGregor. You know what? I've got McGregor, and I think he's going to accomplish his 1 round knockout.
Nah. I'm going to full call you out. Nah. I think McGregor will win, but I don't think it's happening in 1 round. No way. Poirier will not put himself in that position, because surely he's got enough motivation to say, I've already been knocked out by this guy. I've already lost. Like, this is do or die for Poirier too. You need to understand, he was a interim champ before he fought.
Are you talking about from a title perspective?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, from a title. Yeah, 100%.
This is his
totally
last opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Besides, before he becomes a Cerrone and just sits, he's just a challenger for the guys coming up. You know what I mean? He's a journeyman.
Yeah, no, I
in
agree.
my opinion, this is
agree
do
from
or
a
die
title
for Poirier.
perspective.
If he loses this, I won't say I have respect.
So
for
who's your dream title for the one? So Khabib's out of the picture. Who's your dream title fight for the 155 right now? Considering everyone's there. Say everyone's fit and done and dusted, ready to fight tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who is your 2 fighters that you put? Based on form, you're looking Charles Oliveira versus the winner of Poirier and Conor.
Conor, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you already took out Ferguson.
And in my personal opinion, if Charles Oliveira performs the way he did against Ferguson to Conor is in for a fucking mental of a night. He will get absolutely ripped in half.
You know what? What's refreshing is he didn't talk a lot of shit, McGregor. So it's nice to see that one of his main arsenals was to dig at opponents mentally. I think we can all agree on that. And obviously, it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you, man.
I mean, he's come in there nice, and he's all nice with Poirier and whatnot. I don't know, physically, like, he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking that away from him, but I don't know. Is he gonna perform?
What do you reckon? Dan Hooker, Chandler. Who do you got?
Chandler.
You got Chandler?
Chandler, bro. Chandler's gonna go in there, demolish him.
Oh, I've got Dan.
Guys, Hooker, he couldn't even. Who was he struggling against? Not Poirier. He was another guy. He had a 5-round fight with.
Wasn't that Gaethje?
Was it Gaethje?
No, I could be wrong on that one.
No, I don't think it was Gaethje.
To be honest, I got Dan Hooker, man.
Yeah.
I just think that, I don't know, this hype of new people trying to come into the UFC and be something that they're not.
Yeah. It's died.
It sort of dies away from me. Yeah.
There's no more that, talk trash as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's dead.
Like when Ben Askren did it, dude, in my personal opinion,
but
Robbie Lawler should have
killed
him. Like, I reckon if the way Robbie Lawler said that fight went, which is I was still there, I think Robbie Lawler would have bashed Askren in half. Dude, he almost concussed him.
Oh, yes, I remember that fight.
Yeah, he almost concussed him.
He bashed him, he cut him up and stuff. Yeah, I remember that fight. That was a good
and
fight.
then Ben Askren got him like, is that all you got there? No,
what did he do to him? Did he submit him?
Who, Askren?
Askren, yeah, because
he
won
put him in that
headlock. And then he went out. And then this Herb Dean,
Lawler said, Lawler said,
I
put my thumb up. He goes, I didn't. He goes, I didn't.
But he did look loose.
He did look loose. His arm looked loose.
Yeah.
So I'm going Dan Hooker on this one. I think that he's got more to lose on this, to be honest, because
Dan Hooker, yeah, I agree.
Do you be a stepping ground for people like you just said about Dustin Poirier? So we're gonna have to wait. What time? That fight is 2 p.m. Sunday in Australia.
Yeah,
so 2 p.m. AEST.
Paul Felder. He fought Paul Felder 5 rounds. Remember?
Mr. Rare, Mr. Desk,
the Irish Dragon.
So we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah. Google's out to get us, and McGregor's going to win. We're wrapping it up, boys.
Yeah.
We could just a side note. Before we started the show, the Apex trailer just got me a little bit excited.
Apex. I forgot about that. Let's just get into that.
New character. We're going back to Kings Canyon.
Well, Kings Canyon, I think, is going to look a lot more heavily different, considering it got blown to shreds in the new trailer. So Season 8 Mayhem is bringing in the Aussie characters, mate.
That's what I'm excited about. I hope he's got some
Get
special
another shrimp on the barbie.
What's it called? Look, I think there's a little bit of lore going on as well. What are those people called? Like, in the trailer that it talks about?
Which one?
The people who are like near the ship. Where are they from?
Which ones?
You know how they were in the ship, the new Aussie character, and then the ship starts blowing up the thing?
Yeah.
Canyon?
Yep.
Those people, they're from somewhere. I can't remember now off the top of my head.
It starts with S. It's killing it's penetrating my skull.
But yeah, like they're introducing some lore here because there's people talking about, what are these people, like where they're coming from? Are they trying to escape? In fact, in the first character reveal trailer, the new character mentions it and he's like, I'm leaving to go to the Apex Legends. So it's interesting they're bringing in lore. I would have hoped that the whole blowing up thing and stuff like that. Salvo, yeah. That's so there's all this like, do it for Salvo. I'm leaving Salvo. So I didn't know Australians live in Salvation Army, but just a bit of lore. I think it's interesting. I hope that there's a whole like little bit of a story thingy like they did a couple of seasons ago. I felt like this season was bland. I don't give a shit about comic book pages, and I haven't even looked at them, to be honest. Like, I unlock them and then I never go back to see what I've actually
just a
unlocked.
nuisance for me to press escape.
And it's just hopefully they. Is there a new gun coming in?
Yeah, there's a new gun coming in called the 3030 Repeater.
Mm-hmm. Dude, look.
Live action rifle.
Look, 3030s, as someone who owns firearms, they're fucking... They
Legally.
do some fucking damage. Like, I've shot a 3030 and the recoil on it was crazy.
Is that a new gun?
Yeah, the new 3030.
So what type of gun is it?
It's a rifle.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be something like a G7. It'll be a sniper, so it'll be like a Sentinel. But I feel like it's going to pack a big punch because you can't put a 3030 repeater into a game and then have it shoot like a G7.
They got to find the level ground then, because you have a charged up Sentinel that gets rid of pretty much your armor. Anything stronger than that, you're sort of entering Kraber territory. Yeah. So it's going to be either that, or they might give it a shit reload time, maybe.
But you could do it where it's like stronger than a G7, because you got 4 shots, and I would say that a 3030 being a bolt action rifle is going to be quite fast, but not as fast as a G7. So it's probably going to be your G7 in between your G7 and your Sentinel. So you got 4 shots. They pack more punch than a G7 does. They don't fire as fast as a G7, but it doesn't pack as much punch as a Sentinel does, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like if it was a realistic gun, that's where I would place it anyway.
We're gonna have to wait, man.
Because as you said, it can't be stronger than a Sentinel. But the Sentinel shoots pretty fast as well, doesn't it?
The Sentinel has, I think probably 1.5, maybe 2 seconds.
Maybe it's going to be between your Sentinel and your Kraber. It'll be interesting to see. But any guesses on what the abilities of this new character might be?
Judging by the video, he used his arm to do a grenade sort of thing. So he might pack grenades in his arm, maybe, rather than actually sending it. So it's more of so with Bangalore, you got the smoke, but maybe it might be something sort of similar to her shots, but instead it's a grenade.
Mm-hmm.
His ult looks like what's currently happening in the game. So towards the end, if you're in the last 3, for example, you see those rockets start to fall down into the ground. That could be his ult. Then maybe they're just testing it. You could probably set it up as traps, maybe. Maybe it's a detonator. So they all drop down and no one sees it except you. Do you know what I mean? But as soon as the enemy's there, you just go bang, and it's like a stun sort of thing.
Could be like a mine as well, that they just blow up automatically when you run past it.
It could be something like that.
Would Wraith be able to detect it if it's something like that?
I don't think. There'll be.
And then Bloodhound
the
would
trap
be able
nearby.
Bloodhound will probably be able to scan it if it's something that stays in.
Yeah, Bloodhound will be able to scan
I'm going to throw something wild here at a passive. Because if you watch his introduction trailer, he's a brawler, right? They stick him in like a dome where he fights and stuff. I'm gonna say that he's got really strong melee.
Yeah,
Hey,
it could be. It
that'd
could
be
be.
great.
Like to
Especially
encourage
with the
someone doing
boxing ring.
it, especially with the boxing ring. Yeah,
Yeah.
on the new map. It'll be interesting to see if. But then again, that the boxing ring kills your passives, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think that he's gonna have some sort of melee ability as his passive.
Or maybe grenades don't affect him as much.
Yeah, maybe.
That could be another one.
Yeah.
As his genuine pass. Because at the moment, I love Horizon, to be honest. But if someone comes out where they're not necessarily affected by... Not affected, but like as in they don't receive the full effect of a grenade or an arc star, maybe something like that, that'd be pretty OP.
Yeah.
Considering the amount of fucking grenades that everyone uses in this game at the
Especially
moment.
if you're like held up inside a room and you don't have
Or
a Watson or something.
All you wingman mastiff fighters, they don't need ammo. But yeah, hopefully they because it says that they blast your way to the top in the new season 8 ranked. Hopefully they change rank a bit, man. They need to change rank up a bit.
Do you think there should be points distributed for damage done?
No, not for damage done.
No.
Come on, like I've seen that argument so many times because, in my opinion, your job is to kill your opponent, not to cause damage for them to get recharged back to normal. Do you know what I mean? Like your job is to kill your opponents.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think that killing them should be your main objective.
Yes, I agree.
I think there shouldn't be a cap on assists.
Or kills.
Kills I get because, dude, you got players like ACU, they're going to get to pred like that.
Yeah, but he's already going to get to pred.
Okay, well, your average player will get to pred like that because all they need to do, because you get those rounds where you get 15 kills, you know, those leaders that get like 8, 9 kills, they're going to blast their way through a rank. Do you know what I mean? And they're going to come smashing down when they hit plat or diamond.
But I think, on contrary and an argument against that, it's going to separate the people who go into battle from the people who hide in a building and just win the game at the end. Like, it's going to give you more incentive to try and get those kills in ranked.
Yeah, true. It will sort of get rid of the what's the word I'm looking for? The camping element to the game, which a lot of people do in ranked, especially when it gets to platinum and diamond, to ride it out and to try to hope for the best. But I think that, yeah, there needs to be a few changes into ranked. There has to be. There needs to be maybe they might need to do like an objective theme to it, if that makes sense. Not, I get 5 kills and get another 10 points, but more like if you kill someone with an arc star, counts like as 2 kills. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, something they need to do something. They need to bring in stupid modes, man. This, like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't get this game because, like, Respawn and EA, like, they have so much on hand for them and they're not utilizing what they have. Like there was that leak, if that makes sense, the team deathmatch. That'd be awesome. Like, bring it out. This is season fucking 8 now, man.
Yep.
Like, that's gonna come out.
Yep.
Team deathmatch will be hectic. 30 on 30. Or 15 on 15. Bring out something. Do you know what I mean? Like, Kings Canyon is not a massive map. I don't know what's going to happen considering it's blown to pieces and they're going to revamp it a bit.
Look, you built this new map that has all these runways and these lanes for the vehicle to go in, right? Man, it would be so cool to have like a destruction derby. 3 people, you got to race out, shoot each other, blow your vehicles out.
Yeah, it would be
Something
cool.
different.
That'd be hectic. Yeah, that'd be mad. Like, create it and you choose, like, everyone's like, everyone's got the same character. Do you know what I mean? Like, say a Rampart, maybe an Octane or a Horizon, for example. And Rampart is just on the back, controlling that turret and that's shooting everyone. Do you know what I mean? That's your job as that character, to shoot. You got one driver that's a mad driver, and then the other one that's got probably a gun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they can switch from side to side or something like that. Like, that'd be mad. Like, something small like that.
And that's what's great about GTA, if you put it into perspective, is that they don't put a limit on what they can do online. Look, they've got like a dirt bike. Let's put a machine gun on it, put them on this tight track and watch them shoot each other. Like, that's what I like. And I think Apex can get a little bit adventurous. It doesn't have to be all vehicles, but like you said, 3 versus 3 versus 3 deathmatch in like a small place. And utilize what you already have on your map. Dude, put a fence around like Octane's area in Kings Canyon and you can't leave that area. It's a 3 versus 3 deathmatch.
Yeah. Or get airbase and go 4 on 4.
Yeah.
They can't leave there. You've got that one zip line that goes across. There's your 4v4.
It's not hard to do because all you'd have to do is bring your storm around that area. And it doesn't have to be necessarily circle. It could be a square storm.
Like, think about it. Like, you know that boxing ring? They got rid of passives, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, give them guns, get rid of the passives.
Yep.
Okay, there's your 30 on 30.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Even muck around with it. Do stupid shit. Make Rafe as big as Gibby. Do you know what I mean, like, just as a ship mode? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how fun that would be to see Rafe mains not being able to use Rafe anymore because the hitbox is massive?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be insane. Like, just little things like that. And, yeah, like...
One thing I do like is the whole, like, purple guns drop and stuff like that in the care packages. Like, that's
a lot of people
that's
did like
hectic.
that.
I love that.
You
Oh
don't
my
like
god,
it?
that
People
saves
don't
me
like
so
it?
much time.
But you see 4 gold care packages and, like, you get your Inan on, you're like, I gotta go for it.
They're the best. Best ideas so far.
I do like that.
I love it.
I just hope that they don't get rid of the looting element because of that.
Yeah, that's
Do you know
true.
what I mean? Like, where they go, this is your only source of guns,
Nah.
and everything else you find is your shield batteries and your med kits and shit like that.
I do like the element of it now because looting still has its perks. Like, for example, I had it like an R301, for example, and I had it kitted out with the scope I wanted on it, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
right.
And the purple care package R301 comes with like a
The
shitty
shitter
scope.
scope and
So
the
I
wingman.
was like, I'm just going to keep my one.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. The wingman especially comes with the shitter scope on there, but they know for a fact they add the one cog and it's just automatically everyone's just going to go for
Go
that.
for that, yeah.
So look, I hope they bring new stuff, man. That's all I want. Just bring new shit. Just keep me entertained. Fortnite used to do that well. Just shitty little modes and shitty little gimmicks. It doesn't matter where people are interested or not. Find out what people are interested in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even that third person view, it was so heavily glitched.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun to just go, you know what? Something different. And I don't care if there's a glitch because it's something different.
Yeah.
Bring on 30 on 30. I want to see 10. Like, I want to see 10 Wraiths creating like portal to portal to portal. Like, I just go through one and I end up on the other side of the fucking map. That'd be hectic. Do you know what I mean? Like, stupid shit like that.
Look, and EA, stop fucking being lazy with these character events. Like, we want limited time events like you did with Mirage's Train and, like, stuff like that. Like, don't just put a boxing ring in the middle of the map.
That should have been separate.
Like,
That should be
it's so
separate.
dumb. There was no event for it. It was just, like, a mini change of map and that's it. Like,
There's no benefit for me to go there whatsoever.
I did not even want to collect all the stuff to get all the limited time skins and stuff that I get. It's just like, that was so rushed and boring. It was like, there was no effort put into that last event at all.
Like, literally, your whole event, all the skins, and yet everyone wanted the Pathfinder skin that because of the video that they brought out. Like, that Pathfinder skin was awesome, and the animatronics, that they brought with it was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree, man. They are getting lazy, and stop overcharging people, please. But then you're not going to listen to us
Because there's dumb people who buy them.
yeah, we know who you are.
Starts with O.
Look, hopefully it's good. Like I said, hopefully they change the rank system, and hopefully you can maybe make a server that's in Darwin, close in Australia, that's close to Singapore, so we don't have to keep logging into Singapore, maybe.
And before we sign out, can I just share a personal story?
No.
So I'm an electrician. Well, I'm an apprentice. So this week something bad happened. It was actually a big wake up call. So Monday morning, I was quite tired when I started work, boys, and we were on this roof. And Monday was quite hot. It was starting to get warm. Dehydration kicked in, and you start to become a little bit too confident. So when I first started going on roofs, I was like really careful and stuff like that. So we need to move the tiles to be able to get our stuff in, and I fell through a tile that was open.
Yep.
And I swear to God, if I like belly flopped onto this guy's ceiling, I would have done less damage than 1 foot did. But it was just a big, massive wake up call, a little bit of a public service announcement for everybody. Just be careful when you're doing stuff, especially if you're a tradie or whatever, like you're working on roofs. Take your time. Be vigilant about the stuff that's around. I'm honestly really, really blessed. When I fell down, my leg was so twisted, and obviously there was pain from when I fell through that I thought I broke my leg, and I got away with like minor bruising and stuff like that. So just a personal story I wanted to share with you guys, and to keep it as like an archive for me in 5 years' time when I'm not falling through roofs anymore.
Nah, that's a very good message, especially considering men and we have egos and all that type of stuff. So keep in mind that we do still have the men's help and the Lifeline links on our bottom of the of every
Or
YouTube
you
episode.
just can tough it out and suck it up and stop being little bitches.
Says the guy who hijacked the psychologist session.
I know, right?
And it paid
Psychology's
off.
a myth, mate.
I thought about going to anger management. I actually genuinely did.
Yeah, it's called a boxing ring.
Because now my 8 month son is copping it.
Dude,
Yeah.
just give it a go. Honestly, you might see benefits from it.
Nah. In the words of Inan, toughen the fuck up, bro.
Nah.
Straight up.
That's
but
why
the men's
suicide
help
kills.
Lifeline's all at the bottom. So just letting you guys know. Nah, boys, it's been good to catch up with you. If one of you guys don't show up, we know that Google took us.
Just make me rich, Google. Thank you very much.
I'd like a red Bugatti, please.
I just like free Amazon deliveries, Bezos. Thank you very much. Catch you boys next week.
Laters, boys.
See you guys.